Hello, and welcome to an evening of Dungeons and Dragons with us, Dyson Mimics. As usual, I am your DM, Paddy. The stars have aligned for scheduling. Huzzah! You know, I'm not on holiday. Steph's not LARPing. Aaron's not working. Reese isn't painting a fence. I'd say something about Annette and Ben, but basically they're just always
They're
there.
consistent. Yeah.
Health hasn't been great. Like, I could have been sick. You don't know.
Yeah.
And I end up going on random courses from time to time, so
True,
probably not the
true.
most
Yeah.
stable either.
Yeah. But
In many
joining
ways.
me tonight, as usual, we have Annette as Talia Darkthorn.
Hello, darlings.
We have Ben as both Valdizian and Urt.
Good evening.
We have Steph as Vienna.
Hello.
We have Reese as Blossom.
Hello.
And we have Aaron as Xandal.
Hello.
Apologies for any poor camera quality on my end. It is, evil day star time outside, so getting my camera and lighting right is being a problem.
We need to get your box.
I don't want
Stick you
a
in a
box. I don't want a box. I get hot. It's bad enough playing in the eaves of a bungalow during this sort of weather. I'm already sweating and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. And I've got a fan on. Leave me alone. Anyway. Before I get into a recap of last session from however goddamn long ago it was, any announcements, any housekeeping, blah, 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 blah.
So just our normal one, which is we like to just to give a shout out to all of the tools that we use to run our D&D stream, and to the developers who create those tools, because they do fantastic work. And if it wasn't for you, we would have a much worse stream than we currently have. I don't think our stream's that bad, but it would be much worse without the tools. So we use Roll20 for all our maps and for our dice rolls. We use DnD Beyond for our character sheets, although weirdly character sheets are going weird. And there's no such thing as a tabaxi anymore, or a tabaxi language.
No,
So
tabaxi still exist. They don't have a language.
so does that mean
They
you
just,
can't
they
speak?
just purr, right? They just purr, right? It's fine.
That's
And
fine.
there's no such thing as a bounty hunter. They're just criminals and spies now.
Hey, it's D&D. And yeah, we use Sirenscape for all our music and our ambience. So yeah, thank you for all the developers who are making all those tools so useful and easy to use. That's pretty much it.
Okay. So, recap
Unless
of
you're
last...
a tabaxi bounty hunter.
Yeah. Recap of last session. The party had made their way into the... What's this? Why are we doing this?
I don't know. Ben was starting.
Everyone just was doing this. I'm like... Okay.
We are paying you
party-
the adequate attention that you deserve as our dungeon master and lord and savior.
First time
Indeed.
for everything. Anyway, the party had made their way into the jeweled city within the Golden Mountain, finding themselves inside the homely halls, the residential level of this multi-tiered mountain dwarven city. They had discovered the massive amounts of destruction that Umbra Blade had visited upon this place, and wisely decided to try and skirt around the edges of the cavern to head further up the mountain, rather than down to where the dragon's lair is, trying to avoid any local denizens or minions of said dragon. In doing so, they did end up in a fight against a pair of ropers, something that could have been dispatched of quietly, stealthily, and continued on their way without too much ruckus.
That was quiet.
However, this is Armatae,
Mhm.
and due to
We like to
thunder
announce
damage, various shots of eldritch blast into the sky, and a lightning breath being employed in the middle of a dark cavern, they immediately attracted...
Great big gun.
Well, that's coming. They immediately attracted the attention of a nearby Dwegar patrol, who came and began investigating. This patrol, again, could potentially have just been avoided or quietly shanked, but the party decided instead to conjure a barrage of bullets over them and then firestorm the few survivors, thus riling up the whole hornet's nest of roughly 400 to 500 creatures on this one level of the city.
Your guys are going to give the rogue like.
But
an
did we
aneurysm.
die, though?
Please stop.
They
doing
did
this
not
to me.
die. They managed to quickly make their way away from that location and lay low enough to get to the other end of the cavern to make their way up and avoid any detection. Reaching,
I confused a load with a dog.
yeah, yes, the dogs helped. They also did run into some faceless scouts who attempted to assassinate Urt quickly in the dark, but were luckily foiled, and they made their way up to the next level, the Cavern of Mountain Stars, this level of smiths, foundries, and factories. Quickly making their way up onto the roof of one of the larger factories using the portal dagger, they bunked down amongst smokestacks in what they believed to be a fairly safe spot and began resting. And that is where we pick up as you guys finish your long rest and prepare to continue your expedition into this taken over city.
It wasn't Portal Dagger, it was me with my arcane gate showing
No,
off.
I
Arcane
think I
Gate is
threw-
what you use to get past the.
Oh
Right.
yeah, no, we use
Kobold.
that to get up to the next level. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
use that to get
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
I
stairs to
remember.
the next level because you had to avoid what sounded like a mansion full of kobolds.
That's right, yeah. I've caught up now. It's so long. Cool. All
Trying
right.
to correct the DMs, though he hasn't spent the last full week just binging everything and trying to remember what happened.
Yeah, and DM was meant to do some more prep but forgot. So hopefully you guys don't do too much up here and then decide you want to go down, because otherwise I'm going to be throwing a lot of combat at you.
No.
Right.
To
No.
block
So
you.
everyone, are we just derailing the entire thing? Yeah.
Sweet.
You're in a mountain. Rocks can easily fall from the sky.
You just give up and do Sanctuary and go back to Maham.
No.
Just
Go
leave
for a beer.
Ultgard there.
How is Ultgard doing, by the way?
Ultgard's all right. He's currently sketching more maps, finishing up a few that he's been working on.
So, what we've established, right, is that rooftop's safe.
So you
Wasn't
had an
Rooftop with
iron
the-
golem. You're
Yeah,
on
the
you're on
golems
the
don't
roof.
see us.
The golems see you, but they don't care. That's what Zandal, when he saw one, figured that out, that these are automatons. They work in a set pattern, and as long as you don't break the pattern or break any of the inherent rules they have, they
Yeah.
don't care about you.
Sweet.
They're-
We were also going
they're-
up because we assumed the faceless are up.
Yes.
Or down.
You
yeah.
had been told the faces were up by a kobold you met outside the city who was leaving, and when he was selling you potions, and you asked him questions, and he said he had seen people with blank masks, but they had made camp on the highest level of the city.
Yeah.
Do we now have enough masks for every member of our party?
I don't
You-
think we do.
You never said you picked up any masks.
No.
We've
got
got
Yeah,
about
we
2 or
didn't.
3, I think.
You've
We've
got
got
one.
yeah, but they're broken.
You've got
I don't
one
think they're
broken
whole.
mask. Yeah, you've got one broken mask from all the way back in Moontide, and then you've never specifically stated to me that you're salvaging masks whenever you've come across faceless since.
No, that's fair. I don't know why. I thought we had another one that was like a solid one that we showed off at one point, but I might be like memory fog.
I think that might have been that you can do that because of your cloak. You can disguise yourself as a faceless, but you don't necessarily have a mask.
Onwards and upwards.
Yep, continue. Just
Okay.
scout ahead to make sure that there's anything other than a golem in front of us.
And try
As
and be
you
stealthy.
break
Stealthy
camp,
as much, yes. All the stuff.
as you break camp, and you, like I say, you're on this factory roof, and when I say roof, I mean like, think like this factory isn't small. think like the size of something like probably like the Pentagon. It's big. It's a massive rectangular slab of like stone. You are camping in a small corner of it. There are chimney stacks all over the place on this thing. But from where you basically came up and this factory was the nearest one, you went to it and went up. You don't know anything else about this level currently.
Xandal,
Yellow.
why don't we send out the owl and my raven and scout ahead?
I need to
Well,
resummon the owl. The owl
Ah,
died to the poison.
I can't remember. Is Queenie with me? I think I've just bounced her out. I don't think they're
No,
dead.
Queenie is currently in the shape of a fish.
I should probably take the time to change their form back to a raven first.
Because you used Queenie to look at that dragon skeleton
Yeah, the dragon
under
skeleton. Yeah, I remember now. Okay,
Yeah.
I will take the time to recast to let them be a thing, and then once I finish recasting mine, I'll give my basin thing to
Okay,
Xandal.
do
so
you
that he
have
can
Come
do
on,
it.
the-
party, come
you
on,
have the
I should
party,
still
material
have
come
some.
fish.
Like they get consumed each
I
time
know.
you use it. Just making
And I
you
always
aware.
buy more. Yeah, I've still got charcoal and my brass brazier, according to this. It will be the last time I can do so, though.
Yeah.
The brazier isn't consumed, but I've
No,
got my
the
last piece
charcoal
of
is, yeah.
But we're in a factory. I'm sure we can quickly make some charcoal. Maybe, I don't know.
I say you've got wood.
No. I don't know.
Exactly.
Candlelight.
This
But
is a
yeah, I
factory.
can at least do it to mine, so I guess I'll resummon Queenie. And
Okay.
I'll send them out to kind of circle around and
Okay.
have a look through their eyes and scout.
And are you turning Queenie into a raven
Yes.
or something else?
A bat.
A bat. Okay.
I think that'll
So-
blend in a bit more, considering there's already bats in the cave.
Okay. So you send Queenie out. If you can make a perception check for me with Queenie.
I'm assuming I don't need to change it to a bat, or will a bat have different stats?
Let me just look up a bat stats for you.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
that's
Because I can just add another familiar and then just delete it afterwards.
It's a +1 to perception for a bat, and they
Oh,
have
And a
keen
bat-
hearing, not keen sight.
damn it. I was going to say my raven has a +3.
I was going to say bats can't see very well, but they can do
Yeah,
so.
but they can do echolocation and stuff, so it's kind of the same thing, I guess. So, so what? D20 +1, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! 3.
3. As Queenie goes to fly off, she starts squeaking and flying,
Doesn't like being a bat.
and immediately you see like 5 other bats come flying down from the ceiling and start flying around Queenie, and Queenie immediately dives back to you and hides in your cloak. These 5 bats trying to follow but then peeling off.
Maybe I should take control of her next time, rather than just sending her out on her own.
I mean, again, you can't control, you can only ride shotgun
Yeah.
in their eyes.
God damn it. Well, this is not the plan that is working.
Ultgard is like finishing packing up his stuff, and he goes, I mean, we could just walk to the edge of the roof and have a look, see what we can see, for those of us who can see.
Yep, I can have a peer over the edge.
So as you walk,
your
again, it's a
ships.
good 10 minutes walk to the edge of the roof from where you guys have managed to make a camp amongst these smokestacks, showing just how big this roof is. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Vienna. 8. Looking
Already at 13,
out
man.
over this expanse of, again, you see that there are 3 other factories like this one in this cavern, set in sort of the corners. You can see the ramp down that you came up, but then everything else is just this haze of smoke and smog coming from various huts and buildings down below that look to be smiths or leather workers or workshops of some kind. And you can see figures moving around down below, and it's not as dark here as it was in the homely halls, because there is just this constant low-level, like, fire glow coming from what you would assume to be forges, smelters, all these sorts of things. But glancing around, the smoke is too thick. You can't see any sort of tunnel that might lead upwards from here, from where you are currently situated.
Guys, I can see Naffle.
Maybe I should
Welcome to my
do the
world.
thing. I always see weird shit. It's haunted, this place, but I'll use True Sight to see if there's any hidden.
Okay. As you
Things.
activate True Sight and look out over this level, you see flames of green wreathing multiple of these factories. You see what looks like gold oozing from one, silver from another, a multitude of metals from a different one, and what looks like a bright, almost like bright gleaming metal oozing from another, and they're just like oozing and bubbling constantly, and there is just this inherent feeling of industriousness and greed that fills the air. But otherwise, you see
Sounds
nothing
dragon.
different.
Very industrial. I'll turn it off before I see anything freaky.
Yep.
Because I know that there's horrible cursed souls and shit around this place as well.
That's something. You don't see as many of them on this level as you did in the homely halls.
So, we're in the middle of a factory, in the middle of a stronghold of very powerful enemies, and we don't know anything and we can't see anything. Cool.
Well, we can't stay here forever. We're gonna have to risk it.
Yeah. Shall I?
We need to find a way up.
Yeah.
Well, we need to
Oh.
go down first to go up, because we need to get off the side of the factory.
Yeah, I get that.
Can we just follow the roof? Does the roof?
Yeah, can we not just go roof to roof?
I thought that's what we did, like all the way to the edge of the roof.
No, we just found the first roof,
We just
climbed
found
up
a
on it
camp
to get
here.
out of the way because we were being chased. So we could hide.
But then we said we walked for 10 minutes to the edge of the roof.
Yeah, you've walked
Yeah,
to the
you
nearest
wanna-
edge.
But we've not jumped to any other roofs or anything.
If we can find where it is we need to go, if we can just stick to the rooftops as much as we can we do that?
Yeah, like, I don't want enemies looking... Enemies don't seem to be looking up, so that would be the best course of action for stealth. Hopefully.
Ultgard sort of looks around and goes, I'm fine with that plan if the rest of you are.
Yep.
He sort of looks down, he goes, well, we came from he sort of he goes to sort of say like a compass direction, and then sort of goes, no, that's not going to work. We came from over there, and he points to one side of the roof where you could still just about see the tunnel that leads downwards. He goes, so shall we go in the opposite direction?
Sure.
Oh, why not?
Keep our eyes open in case there's anything jumps out.
All right.
Obvious.
And keep in the centre of the group.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I will probably stay with Urt because they've already been targeted once, and they are. All here.
Yeah, I'm going to keep Emily near as a sentinel.
Okay. So, as you begin making your way across this roof, weaving your way amongst the smokestacks and various pipes that seem to be coming down from the ceiling, you feel the warmth and the heat emanating from below in this factory, and the sound of hammering and various factory work grows louder as you move further into the center of this cavern. It takes about an hour and a half of walking, but eventually you come to the far edge of this factory, and you are now looking out across a expanse in the middle to the other factory that's across the way. Go ahead and everyone make me perception checks.
Reliable talent. Oh my god. Nat 1, 21.
Okay. So anyone who got above a 15, as you're sort of looking around, you can see in the center of this cavern, between these 4 factories, there are these workshops and forges and basically like workmen's huts scattered all over the place. And in the middle, there's a lot more that they've got light in them and actually look to be occupied. And you can see a lot of creatures down below moving around. However, what draws your attention is that on what would be the northern side of this cavern and on the southern side in the very center, you can see etched into the walls tunnels that look to lead upwards.
As in multiple.
There is one on either side of the cavern. There's one on the north side and one on the south side.
There's nothing like coming out of it. It's like it's not just going to randomly have like molten metal pour down it or trash or something.
From the distance you are, it looks perfectly fine. But again, you are stood on a roof. Again, at least a good hour and a half's walk from these tunnel entrances. You can see them in the distance because of the light that's emanating here, and it's like throwing shadows to show it against the rock wall. But how busy these tunnels are, whether they have any defenses, you cannot tell from here.
We should probably get closer then, yes?
Can we tell whether we're closer to one or the other?
So you are on the north side. You are on the factory you are on would be in the northeastern quad. So basically, if you the cavern is obviously an oval, but if you split it into 4, you are in the northeastern quadrant. Currently,
the creatures walking around, are they a mixture of races? What their clothes like?
What did Val get? 13. It's hard to tell for Val, but talking to
I was
the
actually
others,
going to genuinely ask the
Yeah,
same question. What race?
It's also got 22, so
yeah, talking to the others, they help you, and you can see kobolds, you can see Dwegar, you can see lizard folk, you can see more of those animated acid elementals, those like living breaths of the dragon. You also see what look like large insectoid creatures being used as beasts of burden. You see iron golems, and you also see these strange, almost squat, not quite dwarven. They're about the same sort of height as like normal humans, but their actual proportions are more like dwarven, and they have flames around their heads. They're very tanned skin.
Like Ganassis? Ganassis?
Not quite. You wouldn't. I don't think Talia would know what these are.
Probably not.
But they almost.
I would have thought Fiona would, being from the Underdark.
It depends if
These
they're from the
are
Underdark.
these are not
Are they
Underdark.
not?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
so we'd stand out.
Are they in the way of the tunnels? Like, would we have to cross paths with them to get to the tunnels?
So, looking down, you can see that the most concentration is in the center of the cavern, between these 4 factories. You get the feeling that these creatures have taken over the production of treasure, weapons, goods, where the dwarves used to do it. And though the dwarves used to be scattered all over this, these creatures have concentrated mainly in the middle of the cavern, in the center where they can get something from all the factories easily. This isn't to say that there aren't outliers who are on the fringes, but looking at it and looking at the lights in these workshops and buildings, the largest concentration is in the center.
Okay.
And how spaced out are the factories? Like, if we were to try and get from one factory to the next factory, is it going to take us minutes? Is it going to take us half an hour? Is it going to take us an hour? Kind of.
So
roughly.
The factories, like the big one you were on, there are only 4, and they are equidistant in the 4, not quite corners, but they're equidistant in the cavern in like the 4 different sections of the cavern. The workshops in the middle are just a rat warren of workshops, kind of like the Homely Halls was. It's very much a case of dwarves obviously had claimed a bit of land, built their workshop, then maybe built an outbuilding. Then their son wanted a workshop near theirs, so they made another one. Someone else made another workshop nearby. Some of the workshops are big and sprawling, some are only little poxy huts.
I'm just thinking, if we wanted to keep to the roofs, would Val have enough time to fly to another roof with the portal dagger?
To
Or is
fly
that
from this factory roof to another factory roof, like the big factories, it would be 30 minutes to an hour,
Okay,
depending
yeah.
on how fast you flew. They're not close together. They have been placed equidistant so that these pipes can come down and not take up all the space in the cavern roof. It's obviously been done to maintain the structural integrity of the cavern roof. They obviously worried if they put all these factories near each other and had all these pipes coming down in the same place, it would mean that the roof would become weak and maybe at risk of collapse.
I think we're just gonna have to go sneaky sneak until we get to a tunnel.
I mean, we should be sneaky anyway, but yes.
Yeah.
Ultgard looks around and goes, "Well, it might be wise to try and stick to the walls again. Looks like the
Yeah.
activity is less around there, but it's up to you guys. If you've got some way to cloak yourselves, this looks like the busiest area. In some ways, it might be easier to slip past if we look industrious and
Yeah, it's not my strong suit myself, but
I don't see any tieflings down here. They're going to notice.
no, that's why I said if you have a way to disguise yourselves or us.
Not really.
I think sticking to the walls might be the better idea.
Keep to the shadows.
Fair enough. Well, shall we get down off this roof then?
And stuff. Even if
Stealth.
some
portal.
of us are a bit shit.
I'm assuming heading towards the northernmost edge of the roof, you then have Val create a portal, fly down, and create a portal at the base for you all to quickly pass through. And doing so, you come out next to this large pile of what looks like probably coal. There's nothing around you. It's fenced off. It's obviously just like a deposit for where the coal mine gets brought to.
I'm
But you
probably
are
going to
able to-
disguise
No
myself with...
charcoal, right? Is there any
No,
charcoal?
just coal. It's coal.
I am probably going to just mention to the group, is it worth me just disguising myself as a faceless? If we're going to be walking around, it might give us a plausible story if somebody asks what the fuck we're doing.
Ultgard goes, from what I've understand, the faceless intruders here as well.
Fair point, well made.
We just let's just not be seen. That's what we should be concentrating on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep to the shadows.
I mean, if you can make yourself look like a kobold, that might work.
I could give it a go, and I'll wrap the cloak around myself.
I mean, you're a bit tall
Yeah,
for
I
a
was going
kobold.
to say you'd be a big kobold.
I
Well,
thought
you know.
you could adjust your shape, but obviously, if someone punched above your head, they'd actually punch you in the chest because
Yeah.
the illusion. It could disguise you, but it doesn't disguise your physicality. So
Yeah.
it might make like your head invisible because obviously you're quite tall. So your head would probably illusionary be just below your chest, but you'd still wouldn't be able to walk under a low hanging thing.
Or I'm going to look down at the thoroughfare of people or creatures walking past and try and identify a creature that's about my size, and then wrap myself.
You would know there were lizard folk that would be about your size. They all
And-
look to be black-scaled lizard folk.
And I'm going to specifically be watching one of those whilst I do the transformation to see if that gives me like a little bit more, because I know my transformations can be a bit wishy-washy. So I'm just going to be like focusing in as one is walking past whilst I'm trying to do the cloak.
Yeah, you manage to quickly swing the cloak around, and now standing there is a roughly average-looking black-scaled lizard folk.
Cool. And then I'm going to do...
Will not be seen though.
Yeah, I'm going to do portal at the top and then basically jump off the edge and kind of slowly fly down. And then do the portal at the bottom.
Okay, so all of you come out into this little coal yard that's obviously just like a little walled area for this coal to get dropped off at.
Yeah.
on the northern edge of this factory, ready to move out.
So stealth and move out.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll stealth checks for me then, gang.
19. It's not terrible. I mean, it's terrible for me, but
Okay. Blimey.
why does it always double roll for you, Aaron?
Because he's at
I'm in
disadvantage.
heavy armor.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you
Well,
guys
it makes sense
start
that Val
making-
got the highest because he's like a different creature now.
Yeah. You guys start making your way quietly through these sort of back alleys behind this factory near this wall. And occasionally you see one that is lit up and you have to carefully make your way past. Unfortunately, Hacker doesn't seem to get the message and is
God
sort
damn
of
it,
just
Hacker.
clumping along, occasionally like moving over to like one of these workshops that's lit up and trying to peer in the window.
Could he
And
like
the-
pretend to be an automaton? And I mean, he is an automaton. But you know what I mean? Like, could you not be any more obvious, my dude? I do love him though. He's such a miserable git though.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like he's deliberately out to just piss everyone off.
He's just to piss you off. He's just so begrudgingly does anything.
I know.
Okay. As you guys are heading along this way, as you are moving along, you hear in the distance the sound of voices speaking in Draconic and what sound like the wheels of a wagon.
What are they saying?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. You're hearing the mutterings in the distance.
Okay.
You're gonna have to listen in to see if you can't make it out at this distance, but they are coming close by, and there sounds to be a good few of them. You have maybe a minute before they're at a point where they'd be able to see you all.
Okay,
Oh,
we're gonna have to
I
go into
suggest we
hiding.
hide.
Yeah, we'll
yes,
try and
hide,
find
hide.
places to hide.
Okay. Quickly looking around, you do find a number of workshops around you that are apparently derelict. You could try and make your way into one of those, but they are mostly either locked up or damaged in some way.
If they're damaged, they're not likely to be going to them, right? So probably the best place to hide, I hope. Yes?
Need somebody to pick a lock
Okay.
then.
Yay, no pressure.
Yeah,
I
go
can do
ahead.
it if you want.
Do I need to pick some locks?
We've got two people
Yeah,
who
you-
are supposed to be good at this.
I know,
So
it's like, are we picking locks? I come on, decision,
gonna say,
decision.
is
Picking
it
locks, yes,
damaged-
no, yes, no,
Damaged
come on.
or locked? Or is it damaged and locked?
So some of the you would have to go up to them. Like I say, a lot of these ones that
Well,
are,
I'm going up to them and I'm checking the locks. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have time to.
so you run up
I
to the
don't want to
nearest
get
one.
seen.
This one is dark but not damaged, and it is locked.
Okay, I'll try and pick the lock.
Go ahead and roll lock picking check for me, sleight of hand.
27.
27. It's a simple lock, a bit old and a bit rusted, but you are quick, deft, and you unlock it and quickly open the door, ushering everyone in.
In, go, go, go.
Slipping inside, you
And
pull the door
I'll
to.
quickly look around, make sure that there's no one else hiding in
you
here or...
Go inside, you find this workshop is empty and looks like it is in disuse.
Right.
The furniture in here is dusty. Some of it is started to rot. You can see a lot of the. It looks like this was an old alchemist's workshop. A lot of the glass has become like cracked. There's what looks like mold growing in some of the apparatus. A lot of the drawers that used to obviously hold rare minerals or plant parts are letting off a bit of a acrid smell. But you are
Nice.
able to get in and pull the door to as you just hear the wagon pull round the corner.
Okay.
Is there any
As you
charcoal and
do-
fire?
No.
But Val, as you listen at the door, you do hear voices speaking in Draconic. Did you hear invaders down in the homely halls? Shut up! We've got a job to do. But what if we find them up here? They didn't find them down there. We are here to collect the potions for the master. Just keep quiet and do your job. And there's these two different levels of voice. And there's this loud, chitinous chittering as this wagon moves past.
As I'm listening, I'm going to convey it word for word over the telepathy rings, and then I'm going to wait for them to pass, and then just whisper to Talia.
I was gonna say, don't forget the ring.
I was going to try and do
Like-
thieves' cant back to you and try and say it to you in the
I
limited
don't know
words
if
I
I've
have.
taught you enough thieves' cant that you speak it fluently yet, so you might end up saying sandwich, or something.
Potion. Potion.
Oh shit, she's gonna be like, "There's a sexy woman outside." Like, what?
Rockle, why are you
Why are
asking
we
for a
hiding?
Rockle?
What? What are you talking-
Not now, Val.
But it takes them about 5 minutes for the sounds of this wagon and the voices to fade away into the distance.
Hmm.
Master would have been a whipping symbol as well, wouldn't it?
Okay, so they know that there are intruders, but they don't know we're here, so that's a good thing.
They're also gathering potions for a master, so
That's probably the dragon, I would think. But, right?
Why would
Anything
the
else?
dragon want potions?
I
or it could be
mean-
one of the faceless trying to do polymorph.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Ooh. Can you imagine if Amber Braid is not even a dragon, it's just the faceless in disguise? No, because why would they be... No, silly.
No.
They wouldn't be here looking for the stone if they already were
And the dragon was
Make that
arrogant
the
enough
stone.
to be a dragon, so
So just to check, we're not interested in going after these potions, we're just going to keep going up.
let's stick to our target.
Stick to the plan.
Okay. So are you just leaving here?
If the coast is clear, yeah.
Yes, and we are leaving as stealthily as possible. Every time. Stealth. We are going quiet. We're not going to set anything on fire. We're not going to set off any
Including you,
thunder.
Hacker.
We're going to check the roofs and the
Make
walls
any
to make
sound,
sure
stares
there's no
at Blossom.
assassins on the roofs.
I imagine
Look
it's
up,
Sally
always
is
look
saying
up,
all
always
this
look up because no one else ever looks
He's
up.
looking.
Always check the ceiling.
specifically at Hacker as she's talking about stealth.
I'm not saying you've made us super paranoid, Paddy, but like,
And we like to specify exactly what we're doing because if we don't, you assume that we're not, and that's bad.
we're
Catch you out
learning.
somehow. Learning.
We does the D&Ds.
So,
Right. Yes.
making your way out of this workshop, you continue your way along, and it's only about another hour until you finally see in the northern wall this tunnel entrance, beautifully carved with symbols of dwarves smithing and praying, and it looks to lead upwards.
If we're anywhere near the tunnel, I'm probably gonna listen.
I'll make sure there's nothing in the damn tunnel. They're ready
Go
to
ahead.
eat
I'm
us.
gonna listen for
I
anyone
feel like with it, this
talking.
could just be, does treasure go up there and it's inhaled by the dragon or worse? I don't want to.
Go ahead,
climb in
roll-
no hole.
Roll perception for me, Vienna.
I cast guidance, so you get
13,
a what
Plus a
was it?
d4.
Plus a d4, yeah.
dice. A d4. Oh, okay.
17. The sound of hammering and clanging is rather loud, but you sort of factor it out. As far as you can tell, this tunnel sounds quiet. There doesn't
Okay.
seem to be any creatures currently in it. And looking at the floor, like, you don't see any recent tracks going up this way.
Trying to decide if that's a good or bad thing, because does that mean that the Faithless aren't up this one? But do we want to go up this one anyway?
I mean, if it's quiet, we're not going to be seen, so I guess probably the best way up would be
You never know, it might be a
way.
shortcut.
It's either going to give us an advantage or are we going to die, so...
The stone carvings are just stone carvings. They don't have weird eyes with gems in them that might shoot laser beams or something.
Can I check for traps?
It is just ornamental carving on the art.
Can I check for traps anyway? Because I
If
don't
you-
trust you.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll investigation.
Picturing that scene from Neverending Story where they go across the sphinxes.
Reliable talent saving my ass every
17.
time. That's another nat one.
Glancing at it, doesn't appear to be any traps. You can see what looks like may have originally been a place for a gate to drop down. And as you look up into it, there's no gate there anymore. This was obviously ripped apart by Umberblade during his attack.
I think we're good.
Still go stealthily.
I can't hear you, Steph.
Still stealth. We're still stealthy.
Still
Yep. Okay. Going into the
yes.
tunnel and beginning to climb upwards. You walk quietly, only sound your own breathing and your hushed steps echoing in this space.
And the stomping of Hacker.
And the stomping of Hacker and his grumbling. you-
How much longer?
We there
As
yet,
you
Dad?
climb for a good 20 minutes, occasionally switching back on yourselves. And as you climb, it gets hotter. And hotter. And hotter. And as
Like
you
that on fire resistance.
see above, you see this light shining from above.
We
Don't
may
go
have
to
gone
reach
down the
The
wrong
light.
tunnel.
I hope
I
that's
can't
not
help
lava.
it.
As you
It's
reach
so beautiful.
the end of the tunnel and look out, you find yourself stood on the northern side of what looks like a grand cathedral.
Ooh.
This whole level is done in paver, which is now cracked or broken, in reds and golds. You can see what looks like statues and pillars. You can see what looks like the remains of incense burners and reliquaries. But the main thing that draws your attention is just to basically where you've come out. If you turn to the middle of the cavern and look right, there is just this massive glowing pool of molten metal.
Wow.
I made a specific sound effect for this, and I can't fucking find it anywhere.
Oh no!
Oh, wait, I think I found it. Is that the one? That's not, no, it's not that one. It's not that one. That's not lava. Fuck's sake, where is it? Continue, I'll find it.
Sploosh, 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 sploosh.
But you see this.
Skadoosh.
There are other buildings, and you see like two. If you're facing south, to your right there is this large pool of molten metal. There is. There is what looks like a promenade of statues between that, and on the other side, a black stone building that seems to have a heat haze above it. And at the very end, in front of basically a giant stained glass window that takes up almost the whole mountainside, which you didn't see from outside, so it must be covered in a one-way illusion, is a large metallic statue of a dwarf with a forging hammer and a very regal look that towers over this whole cavern. Directly to your south in the center, there is a fountain of what looks like this foul green liquid standing in the very center. And then to your left or to the east of the cavern, there are a number of buildings.
Is there any sign of life?
Looking around, this is the quietest level you've been to so far.
Not going
You
to lie.
see a
The
number of
lava's making me
iron.
nervous.
You see a number of iron golems moving around that large pit of molten metal. They seem to be tending it, and you can see occasionally they'll go across to what looks like actually like an elevator coming out of a portal that's bringing up big mine carts full of ore. They are then taking that ore and throwing it into this molten pit.
Okay.
You said there's a
That's
big
odd.
black building with a heat haze off the top of it?
Yes, that's on the other side of the cavern, but directly south of this big molten pit of metals.
I'd be wanting to check that out personally.
Well, while it's quiet, we can have a quick look.
But stealthily.
Xandal,
Stealthy.
Yeah.
you checked out those pipes leading into the factories down below.
Yeah.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Okie dokie.
Guidance.
Not quite sure you can guidance him on a check that I'm asking him to make.
Ah, come on.
It's not a high DC anyway. This is something that Xandal would A, be interested in, and B, make the logical leap to. This pit is a crucible. This
Ooh.
pit is melting all of these metals, and as you sort of like sort of lean forward and take a bit of a closer look, you can see they're like separating in it. There's some kind of magic being put in this pit that is separating out the melting ores into their constituent parts. And then you get the feeling that at the bottom of this is where these pipes are, that then split and go through the rock below you down into these factories. This is a very clever system of smelting a lot of ore quickly and then separating it.
I need to learn how they do this.
Looks
Because
like
this
he
would
just
make
uses
building
lava.
things so much easier, including Hacker's replacement if he doesn't sort his attitude out.
Hacker looks over and goes, maybe I should throw myself in.
Oh my god,
like
let's
that.
not.
Actually, Marvin.
He's actually depressed, bless him. He's literally the depressed android.
Yeah, it's Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Is it Melvin or
You
Marvin?
won't
I
like
can't remember now.
No, it's Marvin, the paranoid
It's-
android, yeah.
Yeah.
You won't
Can
like
we-
me.
How
No one
far?
ever does.
How far across is the melting pit?
So the melting pit itself is probably roughly 250 feet across from all sides. It's big, and you have no idea how deep it goes. And you can see there is like a guardrail around it with entrances, which is where these iron golems are going in. There's obviously safety was put in place by these dwarves. They weren't just
Please
leaving a
tell me
great
there's
big...
a no swimming sign somewhere.
You're
Some
unsure.
idiots jumped in there on a dare or something. Yeah.
may have been once upon a time, but you're uncertain now.
So, there's safety around the outside, and these golems, I'm guessing they're going in like a mechanical pattern. There's like a timing to them. Is there an
so
easy
basically
way
you
of
can
like getting
see some
across
of-
without?
You can see some of them
Oh,
are just
you
like
can walk past the golems. They're fine.
yeah. You
We
can
don't
see
want
like
to assume anything down here.
you can see like some of the golems are like just in stasis, and then you hear like the clattering of a minecart coming up this portal elevator, and then one sort of comes awake, goes over, gets the minecart, brings it across, and just chucks the ore in, then takes the minecart back to the elevator, attaches it back to the chain, and then returns back to where they were, going back into a stasis mode. They're basically here to maintain this crucible and keep it fed with ore.
Shall we make our way across then? See what this big black building is and why it's got a heat haze?
While you do that, Fiona's going to actually look around and see if there was any other tunnels
Yeah.
other than the one we've just come out of.
Watch our
So-
exits. Yeah, good plan.
Yep, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Perception.
Can I ghost guide? I just
No,
want to be helpful. Oh.
13. It's
Good.
light enough in here and open enough that you can easily see in the southern wall another tunnel opening up. You get the feeling both tunnels from down below opened up into this chamber.
The green pool.
That is
What is it?
literally just south of you. It looks like it's maybe about a 30-minute walk away, and it looks
Okay.
like it was maybe at some point a fountain, but you can't make out full details from here. You'd have to go and get closer.
I don't want to get closer because it's green and there's acid monsters floating around.
Back building first.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
guess.
Okay.
Let's
So,
sneak over there.
You can
Sneaky,
either,
stealthy
it's
way.
your choice, you can either skirt around the massive pit of molten metal to get to it and then go south, or you can go past the horrible fountain to get to it.
If we can go
It's your
past the
choice.
horrible fountain to get to it, then we'll probably kill two birds
The
with one
horrible
stone.
fountain's clearly not some devious plan by the DM to do something horrific to us.
We've already described the fact that the mountain has got like evil and like taint going throughout it, and like
If we're going past the fountain, I just want to stipulate personally that Talia is not currently breathing, so she doesn't have to smell how bad it is.
Okay. As you start heading towards the fountain, Ultgard is just looking around in wide-eyed astonishment. He's not really speaking at the moment. You get the feeling he's a bit shell-shocked. But as you head southwards, making your way, and again, this is a very open area, but you keep as low as you can and as quiet as you can, as you eventually, after about 20 minutes walk, come within sight distance of this fountain. And there is a smell, but it's not terrible. It's just the smell of sort of fetid, diseased water. The same sort of smell you'd get in like a swamp sort of thing. And you can see that this was at one point a fountain with statues in the middle. But the water is now this sludgy, stinking green that is
Oh, my
more glooping than it is flowing. And you see in the center there is these remains of statues. One of a similar to the statue you saw at the far end of the cavern, a regal-looking dwarf in battle armor wielding a smith's hammer, but he was obviously at one point clasping hand to claw with a very regal-looking silver-colored dragon. But these statues have been smashed, defaced, and graffitied. You can see various rude insignias and rude comments made in Draconic and Undercommon all over these.
Charming.
But other than that, it appears that this is just a horrible, diseased fountain that is no longer in use. What once may have been a beautiful piece of art that was originally a center point of this whole religious floor of this city is now just a decaying remnant.
Nobody fall in.
Skirting a... Don't
Nobody fall in.
Nobody drink it.
Skirting around this, you make your way across and down to this black stone. As you get closer, you can see it glows a soft red. That heat haze getting stronger. And as you get closer and closer, the heat increases more and more. You see there
Why
are
do I
no...
feel like this is a place where we could shut stuff down.
You see there is no windows. There's one door on each side. As you're sort of coming down, you can see one on the north side, and you are coming at it from the east. And you would assume there is similar doors on the other sides of this building. But you see this black stone, and as you get closer, you get within sort of 20 feet, and the heat is now almost unbearable.
That even for me and Talia.
What about for Talia and me? Oh, and well,
For
So I'm heat resistant.
Talia, it's not too bad. For Val, it's not too bad. Xandal, because this is not a weather effect, this does affect you.
Yeah, I'm a bit warm now. I don't normally feel
I'm
it.
standing back here. So everyone else
No,
can
Lodi
go
shouldn't
ahead.
go near the heat.
I think Vienna will just keep watch.
I'm gonna go stand next to the snow cone.
Should you and I investigate Val, or perhaps I
that's
should?
probably the
'cause
safest.
I don't really want. I'm stealthier. No offense.
Val's got a +3 to stealth.
I have a +9.
I know, but like,
Okay. Fine, just don't you follow my lead, okay?
yeah, I'll let you go first. Ladies first.
Okay.
Stealthily. Like super
Okay.
quiet. Like unseen.
All right. As you go up to the door, you can see this is glowing a light cherry red, though it is that same black stone.
Don't think it should be wise to touch that door. I think that's really hot.
Gonna check it.
I can't without I'm heat resistant, but that's going to burn me. No. Not a good idea. We should find another way. I'm not going to be able to open that without seriously hurting myself.
We'll check one of the other doors, see if that's the same.
Okay. So for this, you would have to skirt all the way around the building to the other side, and it's probably a 10-minute walk to get there. This isn't a small building. It's
I don't like this. He's trying to split the party. He's going to kill us one by one.
up to you. Are you going to one of those other doors?
Will I take a
Are you
closer
all
look at
going
the
together?
door just to see if there's any symbols or if there's anything we can spot that's special about it? A touchpad that just throws cool air at it? I
You
don't
just
know.
need to type in a password on the
Go
electronic
ahead,
screen. You know?
roll an investigation check. 10. Looking at it, you can see that there is a handle. It also is glowing. It's made of that same black stone and is also glowing a light red. Otherwise, it does not appear to be locked or trapped.
Can I touch the back of my hand to the handle? You know,
Yeah.
fire safety mode.
Yeah, you touch the back
Are we
of your
about to
hand
open the door and
to
then get the whole?
handle.
What's the thing where the fire does the
Backdraft.
thing? Backdraft, yeah.
You
Not opening it, I'm
take-
just doing that.
would have been 5 points of fire damage, but your resistance, so 2. As the handle is hot, burning hot, but it only burns you slightly.
Why is it burning hot though? Is there some heat fire blasting it? Is it literally being dripped on with lava or something? You know, probably.
I don't know. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze on this room.
No, I don't think so either. Let's go back to the others and then maybe investigate the other door. I don't want to split the party right now.
Okay, so you return to the rest of the group and report your findings.
I imagine everyone's currently stood around Vienna and Little Eye stagger like this. Oh, cool.
Vienna, do you have something that can, like, cool down a door?
Probably.
Bad idea.
But I can't get close enough to do it. Because it's freaking hot.
Nobody else can use your dagger because we're not.
I mean, if you could do it something at distance.
I don't really want to bring attention to us.
Yeah, I think the only thing she'd be able to do that is with that AoE thing, and that might piss something
Yeah,
else
I was
off.
going to say, if I do something AoE, it might just draw attention to it.
Okay.
Let's learn from our mistakes.
Something's coming for us. I can tell. He's like writing shit down. He's hiding a grin. He's up. The DM's up to something, man.
DM's always up to something, but that's his prerogative.
DM's enjoying his players exploring the areas he's made.
You said that there was a giant statue that was the other side of this building.
Yeah, so it's sort of like to the west, and this is in like the southern part of the cavern. The statue was in the very center, at the end.
So if we went past this building to check out the other door, could we then continue? If we chose not to go past that door, would it be in the rough direction of where that statue was?
Yeah. You guys are currently at the easternmost door. You could go to the north, south, or westernmost doors on this building. You assume there is those doors. You've seen the northern one.
Should we do that and skirt around, see what the other door's like, and then failing that,
Sure,
have
why
a look,
not?
see what the statue's like?
Okay. So skirting around the building, you head around the northern side, and for the rest of you who without heat resistance, you still cannot get within sort of 10-20 feet of this building. It is roasting hot the whole way round. And when you reach the northern door, it is a similar story again. This black stone glowing cherry red.
Don't think you're getting in there, guys.
I have a feeling all the doors are going to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Altgard goes, well, do you not have anything you can put on your hands?
Not really, no.
You know, like a smith's glove or something like that.
I'm not a smith. Xandel,
I
do you
mean,
have anything?
technically,
Have a classes to
yeah,
us
but
that
I'm
are-
like the tiniest person in the group, so my gloves are not going to fit anyone, and I can't get within near the building.
Well, you don't necessarily have to put the glove on. If you're already heat resistant, surely
Yeah.
you just have to use it to press on the handle for you.
I'll give
Well,
the
I-
detective lab to Valdician and he can push it open.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
give
I,
that a go.
I take my gloves off and hand them over.
Okay.
Here we go. First time Val's going to die this session.
Can I look at the door and see that there's no like obvious traps first before you go touching things?
Go ahead, roll investigation.
It's not probably.
Not yet. Do it.
18.
18. You look around the door. No signs of tripwires or triggers. No glow from the other side. Looks just like a door, but it's just very, very hot.
If only I could see through doors. I think it will be fine.
Before
Okay.
opening the door, Val is going to like go horizontal, like so if something starts pouring out the door, he doesn't immediately burn his feet.
And I'm gonna like back away to the side. Maybe the rest of us should go away too. Just to
Everyone
distract,
moves away. Parts like.
but stealthily.
Don't ruin my gloves. They're my favourite ones.
Okay, I'm going to try and push open the door.
Okay. As you place the gloves on the handle and then place your hand on it, you do not get burned. You can still feel the burning heat through the leather, and the leather is beginning to singe slightly. But you are able to push down on the handle and push the door open quickly. As you do, another buffet of raw heat comes out from within the building, but no lava, no flame, just raw heat.
And what do I
I
see
don't
inside?
think anything can live in that.
Okay, as you go inside and look, you
Oh, I
find
didn't
yourself
say I went inside. I said
He
from
said he looked inside.
what do
through
I
the-
see
through the door.
inside?
looking inside. You see a short bit of passageway that seems to open out into a room at the end, all made of this same black stone.
And is it lit inside?
Oh yes.
You know, we opened this door, and yet only two of us would be able to go in there. Kind of defeats the point.
And if there's a cool item in there.
I don't think there's a cool item in there, and I'm very concerned that there might be a big bad dragon somewhere beyond the door. Ben deciding, do I want my character to die right now?
What could
The issue is
possibly
he's
go
the
wrong?
most likely to survive it, but he's just never getting back up because he's got that pendant that keeps him alive.
No, my
He's just
questioning
gonna-
is, considering what Paddy said in the last couple of sessions, is if I turn around and say, no, Val is not going to take the risk, Paddy says every other time Val has taken the risk, what's changed to his personality? And then I have to go in anyway.
I'm letting you make the decision here. You can go in or not. It's up to you.
You
I
can
mean,
be
I've advised
persuaded.
you that it's probably dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, you're making an educated decision here. Like, you don't have to go in now.
I
But
mean,
I
I
wanna-
did specifically say I don't think anything can survive in that.
I don't think it's worth it.
I'm going to shut
I
the
will
door.
say, the heat
Like, I
inside
wouldn't
is no
even
more.
chuck the robots in there.
Other than that gust of heat as you open the door, the heat inside is no more than it is standing right next to it. Like it doesn't feel any hotter in that passageway.
That's DM speak for I really want you to fucking go in.
And that's what... I hate the cliche of saying that's what my character would do, but we all know that's what my character would do.
Yeah.
I'm hovering,
Guys.
so I'm going to go in a little bit just to see if I can see a bit further down the corridor and then judge it bit by bit based on the danger.
As you go down the corridor slowly, after about 10 feet, you can see into this room. And what you see is astonishing. This small room at the end is filled with arcane runes and sigils, complex-looking levers and dials, and surrounded by what looks like magically generated force fields. You can see three other rooms from here at the different areas, and in the center, portal after portal after portal after portal after portal after portal after portal, all showing scenes of flame, lava, fire, heat,
Elemental plane of fire.
and you see
That's what's
all of
getting
these
powerful.
all this heat being channeled through arcane conduits downwards and then under the ground in the direction of the crucible.
Genius. He's using the elemental plane of fire to melt his ore. Yo, that's how it should. That's genius.
Cool. I will back out, shut the door,
Yep.
and tell Xandal, because Xandal wants to know.
No, don't tell me, because now I'm going to be interested.
He
No.
hands you
Tell
back
the
your rather charred gloves, Sandal. They're not damaged beyond repair. They've just got some very big burn marks on them.
There you go.
Interesting, though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, keep
So
half
what was it you
mind on
said?
that.
Levers and mechanisms and things like all that, yeah.
Force fields, portals to flamey places.
Could I make an educated guess that it's essentially controls for these portals?
So, having
Like
seen the
open,
Crucible and having gotten the description from Val, you get the feeling it's partially controls for the portals and how they're open and how much they're open, but it's also things for like how much heat is being funneled through
Let
those
in.
arcane conduits. It's things like
Yeah.
choosing where the portals are open to, and various other controls like that. Because you've never been to the plane of fire, but you've heard
No.
stories that like there is separate parts to it, and sometimes there are different types of.
I mean, we've been to the
heat.
plane of water, so like you can take an educated guess that there's a plane on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get the feeling that this whole building was built to harness this raw heat energy for the Crucible.
This is actually pretty genius. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of envious. I kind of want this in my own forge, but
I mean,
yeah.
if you talk to Armatae, I'm sure you could come up with something. Right? He's pretty powerful.
Xandal, you get the feeling this probably took the dwarves of this city
millennia to do.
at least a century to get this set up and working in the correct way.
Yeah, and given
And
the
this-
sheer size of it all, I don't think Ragnarvale would appreciate 90% of his school being covered in heat.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like, you know that, like, opening a portal to the elemental plane of fire is possible, but sustained portals, normally they're either a naturally occurring thing, or they have to be fed with power to keep them going. What you're seeing here looks like it is a completely self-sustaining system. The maths and the arcane, like, science behind this boggles even your mind. How they managed to balance this perfectly to get it to be self-sustaining, because you don't see anywhere to be, like, funneling magic into this thing. It is just generating heat.
This
Maybe a
is
project for you and Nut in the underground factory that we destroyed.
nut.
You know, now that
So
the
I
AI
think-
lady's gone.
Ah.
Oh
They
no.
have a
I hate
lot
giving
of
you evil
forges.
ideas.
So
I can
think-
probably already hear Haslick in the back of my mind as well.
Haslick has not spoken in a while.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
Hmm.
Val, you often talk to your sword. Does your sword ever answer you back? Your shovel, even.
You know it does. It's walked around and chatted to you.
Oh yeah. Is your shovel talking? Can your shovel talk back to you?
Hey, Mortimer.
What? It's hot.
Okay.
He's talking. Sorry to disturb you.
It's
You can
fine.
go back to sleep.
Does that? Can I check my diary? Is my diary complaining at all?
You open up the diary and you see like it's detailing everything, and then in some parts you see a bit that goes, I really need a cold margarita.
Put the diary away.
So
Haslick,
yeah,
you good? You'd normally waffling my ears off.
Go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Ah, what about your mirror?
My mirror? What? I mean, I could check it.
uh-oh.
I'm gonna use. I was gonna use the Domamu anyway, but that's +5, so 11. 12
can-
even.
You can feel the connection there, but it's almost like it's not like it's not blocked from the other end, but like
Something's
Haslick
interfering with
isn't.
it.
It's more like Haslick's not paying attention to it. You can feel Haslick's at the other end, but he's not responding and he's not paying attention. He's obviously busy with something or choosing to distance himself from it currently.
Yeah, he's
Can
probably
I-
that stupid lich lady.
Can I pull out my mirror just to see whether Gunther's up to anything then? Just to see if that connection still works.
You pull out the mirror and glance into it, and you see the connection is working, but it's currently just showing Gunther's empty
Yeah.
room at the Jigging Jester.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't be doing anything.
I just
whatever time
assumed
of day it
because
is.
the
Yeah.
book and
I'd
the
say, yeah.
spade is like physical manifestations here rather than a connection to something else. That's why I was checking.
Mirror's all good, and I'll put the
I
mirror away.
think we bear this in mind. It might come in useful later, it might not. It depends where we end up with the dragon situation, but let's continue.
Yes.
I think we're going to head towards the other the big statue made of metal, aren't we?
I think so.
So
We
curving round, as you're walking along, you're right next to this central thoroughfare that led from the fountain to this statue, running sort of along this western side. And you see that this promenade is flanked on both sides by statues of what look like they maybe were at one point the Dwarven Pantheon. And you can see that they're what used to be inscriptions in Dwarvish, but these statues are now shattered and broken. And you're at the edge of this promenade, but you can see something in the center. You can't make it out from where you currently are.
Since I can read all languages, can I make out what's on the plaques?
On the plaques, like I say, most of the actual plaques have been shattered.
Right.
You get little bits and pieces like goddess of, or a name, and things like, you know, like hearth and home or fertility, stuff like that. It very much was, obviously at one point was just like a procession of like the dwarven pantheon leading up to what you would maybe assume is a giant statue of Moradin at the end.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
all the statues have been smashed, the inscriptions broken, and like I say, in the very center on the floor, you can see something, what looks like writing, but massively, in a massive scale, burnt into the floor.
Can I try and take a closer look?
Yeah. As you move into the center of the promenade and look down, it's hard to get you'd have to have like quite a high vantage point to see the whole thing, but moving along and reading it slowly, you read, "Pride in strength was your hubris. My might proved stronger, and you paid with your lives and your home." And this has
That
been,
must be a message
it
from
looks like,
Blade.
yeah, it looks like it has been acid burned into the ground in the center of this promenade.
Nice. I'll pass that on to rest of the crew.
Seems like a friendly fellow.
To
I don't
see
think there's
here
much
other
more.
than yeah.
Like I say, coming to the end of the promenade, you see this large statue of Moradin, metal statue of this dwarven god, king of his pantheon, and it's shining in the crucible, and you can see around the base of it what looks like evidence of attempts to damage it, remove it, change it, but none of it seems to have had an impact. And you can see what looks like attempts to graffiti it, but again, it has not stuck. It's almost like flowed off the statue. And it is this strange, almost dark greenish metal.
How's our dwarf friend feeling right now?
He's staring up at the statue with a almost conflicted look on his face.
You okay?
It's it's a great statue of him, but it feels wrong to leave it here. Now.
Maybe one day he can stay here with pride.
Hopefully. I mean, it shocks me that they spent that much adamantium on a statue, but
Clearly meant
that's
a
what
lot
that's-
to them.
and Zandal, this is when you realise this statue, which is easily 50 feet tall and looks to be solid, is completely made out of adamantium.
Oh, Pat. No. Nope.
It's so beautiful.
And you
Leave it alone.
like Zandal, you would know, like in Maham, the most adamantium you have ever seen is like roughly like a suit of armor's worth, maybe a sword's worth. That is worth probably
Fortune.
like 5,000 gold for a suit of armor made of this. This is a solid adamantium statue, 50 feet in height. This was.
Do you think this is worth probably what, 1,000 something?
More. So much more.
It's hard. It's so hard.
Big.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more we can do here.
No.
Um,
Not.
I imagine as everyone's looking to go up, I'm gonna sort of like speak to Em, and because she's an ancient AI, she might know about self-sustaining technology.
Okay. Yes, Sandal, how can I help you?
Hi. So, you likely overheard everything that Val told me about that room with all the levers and mechanisms and stuff like that. Back in your time, did you know of any technologies similar to that?
Most of my memory banks of that time are corrupted, as you know, Sandal.
Yes. I forgot.
I believe the foe hammer that I was one used to have self-sustaining engines before they were critically damaged.
May need to visit Dagris at some point.
Indeed.
You do, I guess.
Oh no, he doesn't have the ship, does he? He's with
ship
the
is-
forge.
Well, the ship is still at the bottom of the ocean. Like, they were making... They were sending research teams down to it, but it was not something they were ever going to be able to get up from the bottom. It was too big and too massive. Talia, your passive perception's 21, yeah?
Yep.
You hear at the end of this promenade what sounds like bestial sniffing and snorting and a low growl.
Guys?
Speaking of, we
Something is-
should be on our way.
Something is coming. Something bestial. It's sniffing around. I hope it's not the dragon, but we should probably make ourselves scarce and hide.
Wait, oh,
I
there's a
was-
mess.
Fuck, we're on a battle map. We need to hide
Oh.
right now. Shit, no.
Oh. I was
How much
just
noise
about
can
to
we
say,
make?
Let's go.
It's the way it says, your passive perception's 21, and you just see this evil grin that starts spreading. It's like, I'm sneaky.
More like you would hear these things coming. These things are not sneaky. But as you sort of glance down, you see rounding a pillar. And further down, you see movement. You see what look like...
Where?
You see what looks like
I was gonna say, it's a
two
huge map.
large metallic
My
bears.
God.
Metal bears? That's so metal.
And they are sniffing the air and slavering as molten metal leaks from their mouths as they are heading. You get the feeling they're attracted to the statue, but you get the feeling they're also going to be attracted to you guys as well, as one of them spots you stood and lets out a roar. I need everyone to roll for initiative for me, please.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Can we at least try to be quiet, even though that thing's roared?
I don't think it matters.
Ah,
I mean, he said they spotted us, so.
yeah. I forgot to select my token as usual. I got
That's
19.
fine. I can sort that in a second.
Hey, I got the same as Val, 16. But I have a. What's your. Our dex is
19.
the same, isn't it? What are you? I'm +5.
Yeah, no.
Babe, what are you?
Dex, 2 seconds.
+3.
+3.
Okay, I go before Val.
Check we've got all the turns on the tracker. Yeah. So, first up is the creatures.
What's
They
going
roll.
on? Why
they roll
am I
high.
up the top somewhere?
I don't know.
This isn't normal.
I know, right? What's going on?
Could we potentially swap around like the order of people because we were keeping?
I mean, you can
Absolutely.
voluntarily swap order.
No, no,
He
like
means we had in the
where
middle.
everyone's.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah. We'd
Uh,
have. We'd
Oh yeah, yeah.
circle
You guys can move it yourselves around where you would have been. You would have been in a group,
Yeah.
but
I'm right next to
you
her,
can
so I'll stay
place
where
where
I am.
you would have been around that area. Yep, they're just going to then dash. So 5. 30,
I'm glad they're moving in closer at least, because I can't
Get
look at the map all the way out here.
No.
There we go.
There we go. So that's their turn. Vienna, it's your turn.
Right. I'm not used to being first on the initiative.
What do I do? What do I do?
What do I do? Great big metallic bears! Oh no!
Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh no.
Robots and forges and bears, oh no.
Panic, Mr. Mandarin! Don't panic!
I think I'll just stick to Eldritch Blast for now until I figure out
Yep.
what I'm doing.
Okay.
Probably one nearest. So 1, 2.
The first one hits, the other two do not. As the
Right.
first one slams into this metallic hide of this creature, cracking it slightly. But it does not seem deterred, it is still coming onwards. Anything else, or is that your turn?
As in, it's not attacking us?
Like, no, like it's like the blast hasn't made it turn off from attacking you.
Oh, right, okay. So,
Just in case, I do believe I should use this a bit more often than I usually do. Where is it? When I want to find something, I can't see it for Armor of Agathis on Winter's Moon. That's a
Yep.
bonus action, isn't it?
It is, and it's 9th level, so you
Yes.
get 45 temporary hit points,
Sweet.
and anything that hits you whilst you have those temporary hit points, if it hits you, it takes 45 points of cold damage.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, Armor of Agathis is strong if you get it to the right level.
I always forget I've got it, and I really need to start using some more defense techniques because I keep
Yeah.
dying. So
Okay, Sandal, your turn.
Virtually the same idea, but I'm going to use my spare 4th level spell slot to cast Fire Shield with Chill Flames, which gives me resistance to fire damage. And
Okay.
any creature within melee range, if it attacks me, the shield erupts with 2d8 cold damage.
Okay. Anything else, or is that your full action?
That's my full action because it, yeah.
I'm also assuming you're concentrating on that. Is that a concentration?
It is not. It's just 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Right, Talia. Oh,
I am
sorry.
going to retcon a little bit as well because I don't think it is a bonus action.
It is from
Armor
Winter's
does
Moon.
it specifically say on the thing? It should say.
It
on
doesn't
the-
say on Winter's Moon. It doesn't say.
I
bonus action,
right. Well,
so-
it was meant to be. I will retcon
Oh,
that.
right.
Okay, so.
So I'm assuming you were having Hacker and Emily move. Sorry, I forgot about them.
Zandal and Hacker are going to move forward. Emily's going to stay defensively near the squishy one at the moment.
Okay. All right, Talia, your turn.
I'm gonna weave up the threads. Disadvantage on both enemies, advantage on myself. That's all
Okay.
my thread plucks. And
Yep.
then I will take a pot shot at that one with Evan shot.
Okay.
Natural 27.
What a
Yep.
shot!
Hits. No sneak attack though, so just the regular damage and the crit.
I can't read the new way it comes
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like what is it? It says 28
21.
sneak, but I'm like, there's no way I did 6 damage for this crit. So
21.
what even is that? Why can't it just say a
So you
normal
did
fucking
25
number?
points of damage in total.
How could you tell?
Because I mouse
Because he's
over it and
literally
add it up in
taking
my
up-
mind.
How do you do the maths? Like,
Difficultly, but I managed.
okay.
But as the bolt. Oh, hang on.
Oh, it does necrotic damage as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've
And
factored in the
if I
necrotic
rolled any
damage.
ones with necrotic because of my entropy thing, I do more.
Hang on.
I forget that I have it half the time. What is it? Entropy.
As you watch the bolt slam home, it does the damage, and you see like
I can't even see it right now.
the necrotic energy released into this creature. But then you watch as the bolt sinks into its flesh, and where the bolt hole was, repairs itself slightly.
Huh.
Ooh.
Okay, I don't know whether D&D Beyond is just being a knob, but Enter Bucket Expert, there it is. I was gonna say, where the fuck is it? Oh, any roll, I can re-roll any ones. Did I
You rolled
roll
a 2.
any ones?
So no, you
I
rolled
didn't
a
roll
2
any
for
ones,
your
okay.
necrotic.
I'm just trying to remember that I have that feat thing.
Yeah. Okay.
There's things that I
Okay,
keep forgetting as well.
And then they are well out of range, and I don't really want to leave it, so I guess that ends my turn.
Yeah. So, Val, your turn.
Shield of Faith on it.
Okay.
Be right back.
No worries.
And
Yep, shield
question about the shield. It lists a number of spells that I can cast with the shield.
Yep.
Is that base level spells, or would it be like where it says at higher levels the spell can do this?
Through the shield, you can only cast it at the base level.
Okay.
You cannot upcast spells from a magic item.
Cool. That's fine. So the guy that's right in front of us, I'm gonna Elemental Bane that bastard.
Okay.
For
Any
cold
saving
damage.
throw?
Choose creature. They must succeed a Constitution saving throw, but it doesn't state a number. I assume that's my Constitution.
Yeah, it'll be your spell save DC, so it should be on your spell casting page.
16.
16. Yeah, they got a 23, so they resist.
Oh,
they are
cool.
not baned.
Wow. Sorry, Constitution. Sorry.
Yeah, Constitution. Yeah, they rolled a 12 and they have a plus 11 to con saving throws. So
That is nothing.
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay.
think I can shield once per day. So yeah, I wasted the shield. Cool. I'm just gonna position myself a little
Well,
bit closer.
you wasted that spell out the shield. It's still got the other ones in there.
Oh, I thought it was only one of the
No,
spells.
each spell you can cast that spell once per day from the shield.
Cool. That's good to know. I'm gonna. No, that's both my action and my bonus action. Cool. That's
Yep.
me done.
Any movement or?
I'm probably gonna move a little bit closer in with the group, just in case they manage to barge through to try and get to Urt.
Okay. Urt's turn then.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Spirit Guardian's 4th level.
Yep. So 15-foot radius.
Oh, what the little Urt's looking like this time?
What's the flavour?
I'd imagine they are just in little like hula outfits, trying with little fans, trying to cool themselves down because it's too hot.
Oh
As soon
dear.
as you said the hula outfits, all I could think is Timon and Pumbaa. What do you expect me to do? The hula? Hoi!
Oh dear. Any movement from Urt, or is that?
Does Shield of Faith stack if more? No, actually, no. I'm on a concentration spell, so I can't cast Shield of Faith. Ignore
Nothing
that.
stacks.
No, I meant if 2 people casted it on one person.
Both Shield of Faith is concentration, so yeah, you cannot. She could not cast it as well as Spirit Guardians anyway.
If she hadn't, could I have cast it on her as well, and 2 lots of Shield of Faith would work? Or
No, I don't think it does.
I would say
It
they don't
replaced
stack. That would
one.
be so OP.
I would say they
ridiculous.
would not stack. No,
that's
personally.
fair.
Otherwise, you could just have a party of paladins and one like fighter,
Like-
and they all go Shield of Faith, Shield of Faith, Shield of
Faith.
Faith.
It'd be
Imagine.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, she's going to stick in the center of the group.
Okay,
And
Right.
yeah,
Blossom.
I'm not charging into these things and
Yeah, let's
being
not have a
alone
push.
against 2 of them. I suppose I will kind of move forward a bit. I will just ready an attack, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm guessing these things don't bleed, so my blood
You-
curses are not going
you
to
are
have any effect.
Unaware.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try the blood curses.
Okay. Ultgard is going to take a pot shot with his crossbow. Actually hits.
Wow.
Doing not bad. But at the same time, as the bolt hits, yeah, completely negates the damage. You watch as the bolt hits and then gets absorbed directly into the creature's skin. Okay, creature's turns. This one is going to go 5, 10,
No idea what the fuck these things are.
30 to get to there. This one's going to go 30 to get to there. Then here's what I want.
It's going to be a breath weapon time.
Just realised the two short characters are trying to protect her at the moment.
I know, right? I mean, we're all trying to protect her, I think.
I know, but in terms of us all being stood on a line.
Okay, so this one is then just going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get to there, just outside of Spirit Guardians. This one is going to...
Double moving, are they?
So I'm going to need Ultgard, Blossom, and Xandal all to make me dexterity saving throws, please. As this one rears back its mouth, and
Who's making the dexterity saving throws?
Ultgard, Blossom, and Blossom. Not Blossom, Xandal.
I mean, I
You
can
get
make
plus
two
3.
if you want, but
Yeah, you can
Blossom
save for me
and
if you want.
Blossom.
You get plus 3
I'm
for
gonna
the
use
paladin
one of my
effect.
dumb armor for this. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I already said that I was using the dumb armor, so that's 27 plus 3, so that's
Pass.
30.
That's a pass, yeah.
your whatever your paladin thing is that gives
Yep.
bonuses doesn't do much for dex, does it?
It's plus 3 on all saves.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Then 15 feet.
And you pass as well. So Ultgard's going to take full damage. You and Xandal are going
Oh,
to take
15,
half.
so that would only be the 20 then.
As you watch as it leans forward and lets out a little burst of molten metal from its mouth, shooting in a line towards you. So that's going
So happy I cast that spell. He's still counting.
It's
Is it
130
So
foot.
Ultgard is going to take 54 points of fire damage. Blossom and Xandal are going to take 27. Unless
Mine's
you're
half
something
the
that
window,
reduces
isn't
it
it?
more.
Because I've got my fire shield up.
Yeah.
So
Ultgard
mine...
it just screams in pain as he like takes this damage, and like he looks pretty rough.
What was that?
So am I only
27,
27, yeah.
am I
fire
only
damage.
taking 13 because of my fire shield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
13, yeah.
Nice and chilly.
Okay. It's the end of their turns. Vienna, your turn.
I'm having to think about this because it might piss a few people off.
Do it.
YOLO.
I'm going to shuffle out here,
Shuffle.
and then, because clearly I don't use Winter's Moon enough, I am going to, if I've planned this right, cast Freezing Fog
Yep.
on these two,
Okay.
which I believe is a cone.
Yep. And it's a con save, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, this fog causes all caught in it to roll a con save DC 14, taking 2d6 cold damage and halving their speed on a failure, or just
they
half
need,
damage on a success.
They
Do they
both
need a 2 or lower?
they both succeed.
The wielder and everyone, and anyone within 5 feet of them, can see through this mist. It isn't there. To everyone else, it blocks sight, so that's why I said it might piss some people off.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
So roll the damage, and it's half damage to them because they passed their con saves.
What did I say it was? 2d... Ooh, let me bring it up again. 2d6.
Oh,
Yeah.
2d6. Okay.
2d6. Okay, 5. Not a lot, but hits some. It's better than being missing, which I usually do.
There we go. So that's the cone. So that's where the fog is.
Right.
So 5 damage. They take half, so they're only taking 2. Okay. You cast the fog out, and it rolls and roils in this warm air, and you see the frost forming on their iron hides, but they don't seem particularly bothered.
Okay, that's interesting.
They seem to have taken the damage, but they just don't. Doesn't seem to have phased them much.
Okay.
End of your turn.
For now, yes.
Yep. Okay, Sandal, your turn.
Okay, I'm literally just going to step forward because I was looking this thing in the eye. And I'm swinging my hammer. I haven't done that in a while.
Yep.
Actions. Oh crap, I'm at disadvantage, aren't I now?
Yes, because of the fog.
Because of the fog. Let me just re-roll that one. Waiting for the dice to roll off the screen.
23 still hits.
21. Yep.
Yeah, 21.
Okay. Let me bring up the d6. What?
Say it's light in here,
Light.
so you do
Ooh,
two-handed, don't you? So
Yeah. Crystal hammer. 5. The crystal channels the absorbed light into the energy, and the crystals crack and groan as they grow exponentially, causing the hammer's head to double in size briefly. The strike adds another damage die from the warhammer, d8 or d10, and the hit target must make a strength saving throw DC 14 or be knocked prone. If knocked prone, the hammer wielder gets a second free attack with the enlarged hammer after the attack, and the free second attack if applicable if the hammerhead shrinks back down.
So strength saving throw, yeah?
Yeah.
That's 18 for the strength
Yeah,
saving
so it's still up, but it also takes another 2
2 points of damage. Okay.
bludgeoning. Yeah.
All right.
If at first something ain't broke, don't fix it. Do-do. Oof.
Does not hit. This time it brings up one of its large paws and smashes the hammer out the way.
Okay. Packer is going to come up here. Let me just. His is line, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that he doesn't need to see fully. There we go. Yep. Breath weapon.
So dex
That
save.
is dex save 14, half on a pass.
Fail for one. Fail for the other.
Let me just have a quick look. 48. acid damage.
Whoa! Okay. What the hell? Remind me to figure that out. So that's. Oh, the heck. Okay. You.
Hacker's been storing.
Yeah. As Hacker breathes out this acid through the fog, you hear two roars of pain. Anything else, or is that?
That's clearly
yeah,
Hacker's
he's gonna
pent up energy.
all his grumbling is just acid reflux. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do at the moment. So.
Okay.
Emily's
Talia.
on guard duty. She's
I'm
wishing
gonna
to be doing
attempt
fight.
a witch bolt at that one. Because I have advantage, I'm assuming it'll just be a straight roll because of the disadvantage because of the fog. Yes.
Yeah.
Natural 20 again. Fucking
Yep.
hell.
That hits.
28.
So you are now
Let's
concentrating
go.
on which bolt. So
What
2.
the hell?
It's you've done 4 damage.
Oh, such bollocks when you do like a crit and then do fuck all. Like, come on. Can I like just double it again? Come on, man.
71. You hear the lightning going off, and you hear this creature growling and shuddering
Oh wait,
in pain.
that's just on a hit. It's just stuck to them now, so I can do an additional
Yeah,
1d12.
Basically, yeah. Next round, you can just go "Nyeh," and do more.
Do extra damage. Okay.
Yeah.
He's within range, so I'll attempt bolts from the grave as well.
Yeah. That
29.
hits. I think Friday the 13th is cursing me, not you guys.
33
Bloody hell.
necrotic damage. Let's go.
You rolled 1 1 in
Get
there. If you
fucked.
want to re-roll a 6
Yes.
for me. So
36,
32, and then we'll add
be-
whatever you roll here.
Was it d6?
Yeah. So
6.
it's actually 38.
Love it. I'm gonna stay where I am, and that's the end of
You
my
watch
turn.
as
I'm
these
quite happy with that one.
necrotic bolts go flying in, and you hear like whimpers and yeah, it's hurt. Okay,
Gee.
Val, your turn.
The allies' resistance radius for the shield that lasts
Yeah.
2 hours.
Mhm.
Is that an action to activate, or is that a bonus
It is,
action?
yes, it's an
Okay.
action.
So any of my allies within 30 feet of me are now going to be resistant to fire, psychic, and what else should we choose? Poison damage.
So
Okay.
I only get one benefit out of that because I'm already resistant to fire and poison, but thank you.
Well, it's got to be non-physical damage.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
Yep.
I get it.
That it from Val, or
I'm still
movement?
concentrating on Spirit Guardians for Urt. I'm going to stay within my bubble, or her
On Shield
bubble,
of Faith,
should I
yeah.
say? I'll probably move
I'm
a
pretty
little
shit at psychics,
closer.
so that actually kind of helps.
Okay. Urt's turn then.
Yeah. Oh god, hasn't moved, which is annoying. I wanted a meat shield. I mean, what?
Oh god, is currently
Dude,
extremely hurt.
What if my theory about him is right? Don't be mean to him. We have to be
I know.
nice.
How extremely hurt is he?
With 54 points of fire damage hurt.
Okay. She doesn't have many healing spells. That's the issue.
How are
She's
you
a
a cleric with
cleric,
no healing spells? What the hell, bro?
She is the heavy hitter of the group. Don't you criticize?
He's also the healer, dude.
Yeah, I think the primary healer is the one with the shovel.
Actually, yeah.
To be
I
fair,
could have
Val
done
does
that
do
last
more
turn.
healing than she does.
Wait, I've got no low-level healing spells.
You mean the faceless have been hitting the wrong target the whole time?
Don't give them a clue.
I might be able to do something with the mace. Give me a second. I just need to pull the thing up. Do I want to slam it down? Can I have her just grab a potion and feed the potion to Ulgar?
Yeah, it takes a full action, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. What's the standard
What?
potion?
Standard potion is 2d4.
2d4 plus 4, isn't it?
2.
2d4
Oh,
plus
plus
2.
2, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
standard.
Plus she's got Adept Healer, which is a plus D4.
Well, that's only for healing spells, not
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
for
for
healing
healing
spells.
spell. That's healing spells and healing kits, not potions.
Okay. So 14.
Okay, he heals 12. Yep. 14, yeah. So, yep, he heals 14. Okay.
Gonna
Any
keep.
movement or bonus action?
She's staying in the middle.
Okay. Blossom then.
Oh,
think,
shit. I
isn't it?
was muted. Is there an icon you can put on that one just so I know that that's the one I've got my witch bolt attached to? If you can, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll still attack that one. Seventeen.
17 does not hit. You just feel the blade skitter across its hide.
And 14.
14 as well does not hit.
Oh well.
Blossom, are you feeling alright in this heat? You missed something. Blossom always hits. She's the one we count on to finish things.
I think with that damage, we've got resistance to fire now, don't we?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take my greater healing potion, because
Okay.
I was still quite wounded from the last fight.
You should have had a long rest.
Yeah, we started
Oh,
the
we
session
did, didn't
on a
we?
long rest.
Yeah, you all
Yeah.
had
Started the
you all
session.
had a long rest.
I completely skipped over that.
Funnily enough, I
Uh,
think I did as
Obviously,
well
it's-
because I've still got a spell that's been used and I've not unticked it. So
Just
Well,
don't
you would have
take
got
it.
that back from a short rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not doing nearly as badly as I thought then. In that case, I will hybrid, because then I
Okay.
get some resistances to physical as well.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Is that right? That would be yeah.
I forgot that token existed.
It's been so long. I need to send you that tutorial where you can just make it so you can flip the token around so that it's the other
It's
to make
fine.
it easier rather than having to do that.
Ultgard is going to use his bonus action to drink another potion that he has on him, healing up a bit, and then he's going to try and attack with his crossbow, missing. So it's the end of his turn.
Nice.
He's then going to move down here behind this pillar. Right, their turns. Zandal, you hear the one directly in front of you sniffing.
Hello.
It is then going to lunge forward at Hacker.
Okay.
It's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So Hacker is going to take 21 points of piercing damage,
21. Okay.
and then it's going to forego its other two attacks to munch on Hacker as you hear it ripping bits off of Hacker,
Oh,
chewing,
shit, metal.
eating it. And you hear from within as there are groans and pops as it consumes this metal and begins healing.
Oh crap.
Did that just enter Spirit Guardians for the first time on its turn?
Technically not. It's not technically within Spirit Guardians. It's just on the edge. It's just attacking Hacker, who's in Spirit Guardians.
But
Is
so
then
did
also
Hack
going
take
to-
any more damage or?
Can I argue if Hacker's
I will-
completely covered by Spirit Guardians, then he has to enter Spirit Guardians to attack him, right?
it's similar to like someone outside with a sword slashing in. They're not in Spirit Guardians long enough to actually get affected. They're not fully entering.
Okay.
It's one of those weird ruling things. Hacker, I'm going to say put a -2 down. If Hacker gets to -6, Hacker is fully consumed.
Okay. Let me just write that down.
And it is then going to, as it has its bite sunken into Hacker, it is going to drag him 5, 10, 15 this way. This one is then going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Join it. It's about to make a joint attack against Hacker. Hacker, who is grappled. That one's only a 15 to hit with its bite.
Hacker is armor class 15.
So eats it, beats it. Hacker is going to take
Meets it, eats it.
Yeah.
9, 15 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Is that another -2? I'm assuming.
And then another -2, yep, as you hear it crunching and biting and swallowing bits of metal.
He's just like half a torso left.
They're not fully devouring Hacker yet. Like currently they're like eating the outer plating and like ripping out bits of his wiring.
Well, he's currently on -4, so he's one more friggin' hit away. So
yeah. But you now get the feeling what drew them over here was the giant source of adamantium behind you, but then they saw 2 walking treats on the way to the big meal.
Oh shit.
Appetizing.
I haven't got money to keep replacing all the robots you keep destroying.
You put the robot out the front. These things went, tasty. Vienna, your turn.
Well, first thing I'm going to do is put these biscuits away because I can't stop eating them.
I'm laughing at these like tots, and it says 7 sweets is a full serving. I'm like, bitch, if you don't think I'm eating this whole packet, you got another thing coming.
I had something like that. It said 7 servings. I was like, nah, not a chance. That's going in one hit.
One.
It's when you buy like a microwave meal and it says serves 4, and you're like,
no, it does not.
Fools.
Okay, I'm going to assume the freezing fog is a concentration.
The freezing fog, I believe, is not concentration. I believe it just, you do it once and then it eventually fades. Let me just double check. Where's my...
Because it doesn't actually say on the thing.
Let me just double check the Winter's Moon. Wielder can use an action. Con save DC 14. The wielder and everyone within 5 feet. Yeah, so basically it just hangs there for a bit and then eventually fades, and that's at my discretion. In this heat, I'd say it's already started thinning. It's probably got this round and then it'll be gone.
I was gonna say if it was a concentration, I would have dropped it. So
no, it's just an effect.
We don't get attacks of opportunity when they're fully obscured, do we?
Oh crap! Yeah, I could have got an attack of opportunity on that thing because it's right next to me.
I mean, you can take
but
your
if you
attack of
can't see it, wouldn't
opportunity.
it still be at a disadvantage, the reaction thing?
Yeah, you would still be at disadvantage on your reaction.
Okay, that's fine.
But you could still attempt it.
Yeah, you
Might
can still
hit.
attempt it.
Sure.
Sorry, you can do that if you want while I'm scrolling through one.
The 22 does
I'm-
hit.
Oh, 22 does hit. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 10. Let me roll the d6. 1. Crystalline hammer. The hammer focuses the absorbed light and the head glows brightly. The bright light causes an extra 1d6 radiant damage. So So that was a total of 14 damage.
Okay. It's still chomping on Hacker.
Yeah, no, but it's fine as long as I've managed to do something to it, because this thing needs to die soon, both of them, before I have to friggin' fork out for another friggin' robot. I've still got to repair, get a new crystal for friggin' a Domiat.
Yeah, I assumed.
Gauntlet's been stolen. Yeah.
I thought I should ask.
And the friggin' hot plate.
Hot plate.
That fucking hot
DM's
plate,
got
man.
thing against anything I create. Hot plate, the gauntlet, robots.
I have a plan. A cunning plan.
I was gonna say, is it gonna?
Is it so cunning you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel?
I feel like this is the reference I should get, but
As
I'm
cunning
not
as a
getting.
fox who has graduated from Fox University. Or Cunning University, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a Blackadder reference.
Oh god, I
Oh,
didn't Blackadder in so
Baldric,
long.
Yeah.
Baldric?
I am just going to do my
I don't know
typical
why, but that
Eldritch Blast
cunning
and
plan
actually
line has
use
been stuck
features
in my
that I
head for-
forget that I got all this time. Because
Okay.
I keep forgetting that I can push and pull with
Oh, you took
the
repelling
Eldritch
blast.
Yeah, every time I forget I can do that. So I'm going to try and hit this first one twice, the one that's in my cone,
Yeah.
and the other one once. And if they hit, I'm going to push them 10 feet.
Okay.
I'll take the robot with them.
Or
I'm
you
kind
could
of
try
hoping
and
it doesn't
move
have the
and
robot
drag
in
it
its
into
hand.
Spirit Guardians.
It's
That
is
push
supposed to be
pull,
everybody
so
else.
I'm close. Yeah, it's not going to go
I'd
towards
have to, yeah, I'd have to literally get right behind them. So
No, I'm
I'll
saying
come
if you
over
moved
here
into
for
Spirit Guardians and pulled them into Spirit Guardians. It's just a thought.
good, potentially.
But then you'd be dragging
That's-
it through Xandal.
Yeah, I'll be dragging it through somewhere. I'm kind of hoping that
That's fine. Drag it through me.
I'm just hoping that it doesn't have Hagar in its mouth. Push it.
But if we drop, if Hacker comes back into it, I've got an idea that might just keep him alive. I'm hoping. But at least they're in the Spirit Guardians, so that they're taking damage.
Is Hacker
Yeah,
even
you
in the
see-
turn order?
I can only drag it
Who?
10 feet.
Hacker.
Yeah.
Hacker goes immediately
Hacker.
after Xandal.
Yeah, he always
Okay.
goes on his turn.
I can only drag it 10 feet, so actually I wouldn't be able to get it into Spirit Guardians much. I'd only be able to get one at a push. So
That's fine. Well, it's up to you.
yeah, I'll stick to the original plan.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attacks.
Please hit, for the love of God.
First one hits. Second one hits. Third one misses.
Third one does not. Okay.
So,
That seems to be like the running thing for you today, doesn't it? 2 hits, 1 miss, which is great. Hell,
At least
hell yeah.
I'm hitting.
Yep.
one.
You're hitting shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
So-
66%,
5
that's a
feet,
pass.
It's 10 feet.
10 feet, so 10, 15, 20. So that one's all the way down there.
I'll double check just in case I've. Repelling blast. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 10 feet away from you in a straight line.
Yep. So there we go. You've pushed that one 10 feet away. Or 20 feet away in this case.
Yeah. So I've got one of them out of the way.
Yeah. All right. End of your
And-
turn.
I'm going to bonus action. I've just double checked that it is a bonus action before I make that commitment. I can't remember. Yes, it is. Healing word on the dwarf.
Oh,
Keep our body alive.
Not a lot.
Yep.
But
Yep, it's more than enough. Okay. Sandal, your turn. You've just watched Hacker get yanked away, bits of him being devoured.
Okay. I need to get through this fog so that I can see this next thing. So
I was going to say, I think we decided that's starting to fade a little bit now.
Yeah.
would I be able to see this one?
I would say you've got enough of an outline now of that one that you can see it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do something friggin' hilarious. Because
no.
I don't have the money to build another friggin' robot.
You're going to go on a suicide rescue mission.
No. Otterluke's Resilient Sphere.
Okay.
On Hacker.
On Hacker.
Drop.
And he's going to choose to fail, I'm guessing.
He's going to end up in a ball that nothing can penetrate. And he's going to start casting. And he's going to start casting repair on himself.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you are now concentrating on that spell.
Yeah.
And Hacker is in a sphere.
Yeah.
What's the diameter of the sphere? No, it's just the same as the creature. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, -4 off any dice roll Hacker makes currently.
Okay, so
it's
he's back to normal.
So it's actually 11 healing, not 19.
11. Okay. So yeah, he's back up to 52. That's fine.
Yeah.
That was my last 4th level spell slot, but oh well. I'm saving myself money here.
Spell slots against money.
I'm going to put the other metal item behind Talia.
I see how it is. Use me as a fuel.
Well, they're not going to be able to get to Hacker, so their next focus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Talia, your turn.
Okie dokie. So I'll attack that one because then I can do my witch spell thing to them as well. But I will use Ebon. Oh wait, no, I'm not going to use Ebon Shot. I'm
check
gonna
which one.
Eldritch Blast. Why not? That's it. I get 3 or is it 4 at my level?
3.
3.
That's the 1. And that 2.
So you can't Witch Bolt and Eldritch Blast. They're both actions. You have to choose one or the other.
Oh, I thought it says every time I hit them. Oh, does it have to be a physical attack?
As an action, you can automatically deal. You don't have to roll to hit anymore.
Oh,
you
right.
still
I
have
didn't
to
know it
use
was
your
like an
action.
additional thing. Okay.
No, you still have to choose to use your action to do it.
Oh, fuck it. I'm already doing the Eldritch Blast, so we'll do that. I don't think I actually hit with any of
Not
those,
a
do I?
yeah. You just watch the beams fly through the steam.
Okay, well, I'm still getting used to the whole
One hit, the others
warlock thing,
off.
so I'll do bolts on the grave just because I desperately want to at least hit them once. I don't.
That one.
I think, to be
that
fair,
one.
I've rolled 2 nat 20s today, so I think
Hacker
that's
is
karma.
sat in his sphere, carefully repairing himself, and he just watches
He's
as
just-
these bolts of necrotic
just like flying
hit the
shit.
sphere.
Fuck.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hit the sphere.
Does it
Well,
ricochet
fine,
off
go
and hit
roll.
one? Come on.
Sphere
Does he
begins
roll off?
5, 10, 15 rolling that way.
Sorry,
Oh my God.
Hacker.
After this, are we going to play bowls?
Maybe I
With Hacker.
will.
You
I will
hear
move
from
in front of
Sandal, you hear from inside the sphere, I'm getting dizzy.
Okay, I'll move in front of her in a defensive position.
Tactical retreat.
And I will end my turn there.
Okay. Valdizian, your turn.
Oh my god.
So I've got an idea, and it might be rule of cool, so I'll just put my idea out here. I want to haste myself, so that I
Okay.
have the distance to be able to run up to that guy and basically jump on top of his head, using my
Okay.
wings to try and get myself the height. Then what I
Okay.
want to use is my first of my actions that I get with haste to come
Bear in
down.
mind, when you cast haste,
Yep.
you use an action to cast haste.
Yep.
Your full normal action's gone. You then only have your hasted action left. That's it.
Unless I take an attack action and then I can do 2.
No, a hasted action cannot be a multi-attack action. It's merely an attack, a dash, or a spell. I think it lists in
Oh,
haste.
okay. I swear you've let me do that before, but let me just.
That was before I properly knew the rulings on haste. So it says in the actual thing, you can take the attack, one weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action.
Okay, scrap that then. Normal movement to the edge, 30 foot. Bonus
Yep.
action, Misty Step, get onto its back. First
Yep.
attack action, dagger into its skull. Second attack action, this is the wibbly wobbly bit. Can I breath weapon into my dagger into its skull?
I'm going to say, let's see if you hit with the dagger first, and then I'll rule it from there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So,
And is it just a regular dagger you're using? Just to check, or is it a magical one?
I think I only have a regular dagger.
That's fine. I just didn't know if you were planning to use Equalizer. That's all.
Ooh. Would that count as a standard dagger attack?
Yeah, it's a standard dagger attack, but then you obviously it's Equalizer. It then has the effects of the Equalizer, but I would say you do know that Equalizer has limitations.
Yes, I can only use it like once per day.
I think it maybe is even less than that, but
Oh, I was
Double
going to use a
check.
normal dagger.
where's Equalizer gone?
Do you know, I forgot we had that equalizer thing.
Equalizer.
You can swap something, isn't it? Any stat or health or something like that, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
equalizer?
Yeah, once per day. So, and yeah, so you move up. I also don't know whether you're the one currently holding the Equalizer. It might not be you.
I still have it, I think.
He's still got it, no one else has taken it.
So that's that, and then I'm going to try my dagger attack.
Yep.
Where is my actions? Attack. 24.
24 does hit, and this is the regular dagger, yeah? Or is it
Yeah.
Equalizer?
No, this is the
Regular
regular
dagger.
dagger.
Okay.
So that's the dagger damage.
Okay. So
then I'm-
as you go to dig the dagger in, you see it doesn't do as much damage as you were hoping.
That's fine. I wanted to get underneath the flesh with a piece of metal, and then I'm putting my breath weapon into it, hoping it might do a little bit more damage. Or advantage or something.
Hang on, I've got to do something else first. And you watch as the blade on the dagger starts getting absorbed into this creature's skin and begins to heal it
Yeah.
slightly.
Not
So
good.
yes, now you can do the breath weapon. I'm going to say because you're aiming for the dagger and it's going to put it in, it's going to have disadvantage on the dex save.
You'll have disadvantage anyway.
Yeah,
It
he has
would.
disadvantage anyway because of my threads.
I will -5 on it as well then.
Yeah.
So it definitely fails. So
Yeah.
it's going to take the 10 lightning damage as well.
And then does it do anything extra?
And
Because it's like a lightning
I'm
rod.
going to say rule of cool, it also stuns it. So this
Cool.
creature is now stunned for 1 turn.
And I've got to hold on to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Fucking
but it
Bronco
could also
style.
eat, he could also eat the dagger, so be mindful of that.
Like I say,
Um,
Earth's turn now.
Didn't actually factor in that. Triple juggling 2 characters.
Since we're doing things we haven't done in a while, doesn't she have those digit daggers?
He does.
He does.
However,
Whether they seem to eat stuff like bolts and shit. Like, I'm not gonna get my bolts.
They,
out.
they're eating
Just be
metal.
careful.
They're not, because I've just hit it with a crystal hammer and it's done nothing. So it's metal that it's
That
absorbing.
is true. Wait, am my bolt? I suppose the tips of my bolts are metal, aren't they? Even if
Yep.
the rest is wooden, yeah.
Probably
I'm just
good thing I've not
reading-
hit it with my only weapon.
I know, I thought that. I was like, should I use... Because I was originally going to go up face to face to it and use, like, smack it in the face with Winter's Moon, and then I was like, I'm not going to do that.
So, do we know, or is it some weird god alloy or some shit? I don't think we...
Fiona doesn't know enough to
We
risk
just said it was a dagger, didn't we? We never really...
Yeah.
The DM's just like, oh!
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how magic weapons.
Fair. But
work.
Fiona is not going to risk it. So she's like, no,
Yeah.
I am
That
not
is a
using
biscuit
dagger.
not worth risking.
No.
She's just gonna look at the one that Val isn't on, and she's gonna flame strike.
Okay. So that is a dex save, yeah?
Yeah, Dex 17.
17 with disadvantage. Passes. So half
Dex,
damage.
Half damage.
So
That's annoying.
would have
Oh well.
been 30, so it only takes 15.
And that's
Okay. Blossom, your turn. As massive
Yeah.
pillars of fire come bursting down from the sky onto this metallic bear.
How healthy is this one looking? How much health do these things have?
So at this point,
You've been clobbering
this
that one.
fog
Yeah.
is gone. That one is looking actually fairly rough. You can see large gashes in its metallic hide, and it's like dribbling this like molten blood, metallic blood, and it's looking tired. It's looking bloodied. Let's put it that way,
Oh yeah,
but without any blood.
looking.
Molten.
Yeah, molten. Yeah, I'm not risking my whip, so I'm gonna drop that and just go in with the claws.
Okay.
I'll see if I can do anything about this one.
Claw its eyes out.
Well,
Rip his face off.
I... Why do I not have my claws written down? It's significantly less. No, there it is. It's somewhere.
13 does not hit.
Not.
That one does not hit, unfortunately.
Right, I think the 22 is the only one that hits.
Yeah.
And I can just do that, can't I? For 6 damage.
Yep.
Is that piercing or slashing?
I'm gonna say your claws do count as magical, so it does take the full damage.
At this point, is it piercing or slashing? It's not.
I would assume slashing for a claw strike.
Yeah, I thought it specified somewhere, but I can't see it.
I would say probably slashing.
I'm guessing slashing,
Or-
so its movement will be reduced by 10 foot.
Yeah. Okay. So, end of your turn.
Yeah, because that was my bonus action to get the additional strike.
Okay, Ultgard is going to
Now I get eaten.
move there. Is going to try and fire his crossbow at the one Val is on. Misses miserably. Pretty common for him. Right. Creature's turns. This one is stunned, so can't really do anything. This one does not get that recharged. Yeah, you're right in its face, Blossom, so yeah, it's going to go for you. It's going to make a bite attack. Nat 20.
Great.
Sorry. So that's going to be...
On the
Damn,
bright
I wish
side,
I was playing one of my other characters and could have denied that, but sadly not.
Denied.
26 points of piercing damage.
I think it's
From the
Lara that
bite?
can do that, isn't it?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
Grey
it's
Cleric.
Lara.
Pretty sure it's Lara that can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Is this counting as magic piercing?
no, it's just regular. So you are resistant.
Awesome.
So 13 rather than 26. It's then going to make 2 claw attacks. It's going to be a 23 to hit on one and a 21 to hit on the other.
Yeah.
So both of those are going to hit. From the first one, you're going to take 18 slashing damage reduced to 9. 14 slashing damage reduced to 7.
That's
As it just bites into you and just rakes its metal claws across your body. That one's still stunned, and so that's the end of its turn. Vienna, your turn.
You hit a stunned enemy, does that knock it out of stun?
No, you just get advantage on attack rolls against stunned enemies.
Is stun the one that's auto crit as well?
That's paralyzed.
Paralyze.
Funny you should say about that. Hang on. What is the range on that? 90 foot.
Paralyze everything.
I don't know if it'll work or not. Gonna try and hold monster.
On this one down here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the one that's not as rough
Okay.
as the other.
That's a wisdom save, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. That is a 10.
Fails.
So I believe that fails. So it is now held and paralyzed.
There you go.
And you are now concentrating on hold monster.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
Do what you like to it.
Anything else? Any movement or...
No, I'm staying back here. It's nice and cozy.
Okay.
I'm not being eaten.
Your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna run over to this one. I'm gonna hit it with my hammer, so I have advantage on the attack now, yeah?
Yep.
Better than the disadvantage I have been rolling with.
Mm-hmm.
So 28.
Definitely hits.
Okay. So it's 12 plus. Let's look at my d6. Ooh. The gathered light is released forward in a giant flash. Anything in front of the wielder and facing towards them in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a DC 15 con save or be blinded for 1 minute.
So, Val, you need
Creatures
to make this as well, please.
Every time you've used this ability, you've blinded Val.
The bear is fine. The
What am I
bear is
rolling?
not blinded. Con save, DC 15. To see if you get blinded. You're fine. You managed to close your
Yeah.
eyes in time.
Okay. Nope. Is it still standing?
It's still
Well,
standing.
yeah, it made the save, didn't it? So.
Yep.
Second attack. Advantage. 24. So it's 14.
Yep.
2, which is an extra d6 radiant for another 3.
Yep. It's
Damage.
looking very hurt now. It's wavering and
I completely forgot about a spell that I should be using all the time. Can I use my booming blade on it as my bonus action?
I'll allow
it. Well, it's an action for one of my attacks anyway, isn't it? So
yeah.
booming blade, brandish weapon. I've got to remember how to do that. Been so long because I've had to use ranged on everything because nothing ever comes close anymore. On a hit, the target suffers weapons attack normal effects and then becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of your next turn. Target willingly moves 5 feet or more. Before then, target takes a d8 thunder damage. Well, now it's 3d8. Hold on. Banish weapon uses.
Oh, that's where it says it.
On a hit, the target suffers the weapons, attacks, normal effects, and then becomes shielded. Moves 5 feet or more before then. Target takes 1d8 thunder damage and the spell ends. The spell's damage increases when you reach certain levels. At 5th level, the melee attack deals an extra 1d8 damage to target him. Okay, so it's actually taking an extra 2d8 thunder damage now. So
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
okay. So that's 8.
8. It's really looking rough. It's wavering. Its eyes keep blinking in and out. It's barely standing,
Yeah.
but it is still
Okay.
standing.
Yeah, that's hackers. I need to roll 2d6 just to see whether it got its acid attack back, just in case. Oh. One for its last turn and one for this turn. I don't know
2
what I
1,
hit
so
there.
no.
Nope. It's then just going to use repair on itself, so got to remember
Yep.
to take 4 off.
-4 to
So
each roll.
12.
So,
Yeah.
well, it's -4 to each roll. So you rolled a 6 and a 5, so that would be 2 and a 3 plus 5, so 11.
So 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Healing. Emily is just going to make sure she's far back.
Yep. Okay. Talia, your turn.
Well, we'll do the witch bolt thing because it's an automatic hit, right?
Yep. So
this is
1d12.
1d12. So that is 6.
Yep. How do you want to do this?
Hell yeah! Well, we'll just say that the lightning arcs out of her hand. She's just like, it connects with it, and then it just kind of corrodes the metal, and it just dissolves.
Yep. It just collapses, shuddering to the ground. The lights blinking out of its eyes, and the light from its mouth going out as it goes dark.
And then I will move so that they are within range,
They're no
and I
longer-
will bolt from the grave that fucker.
Yep, with advantage as it is paralyzed.
Hi, hi.
Oh, you have advantage anyway because of your threads.
I
but
have
still.
my threads. Yeah, sorry. Bloody pop-ups getting in my bloody way. Well, I fucking hope that I hit with the next one because that was a net one. And that wasn't much better. I miss anyway.
The bolts fly
Ah,
out,
did
but
it?
they just sort of
God damn
splash
it. Well,
against
at least
the
I
thick
killed one.
hide and do nothing.
All right, I'll end my turn then.
Val, the one you are on has just collapsed dead underneath you.
So am I basically on ground level now, or am I like 5 foot up?
You're about like 3 to 5 foot up, just sat on its head.
Okay, I'm just trying to factor that in terms of movement. How the circumference of these guys? How long would it take? Or how much distance would it take me to walk around the outside of them?
I mean, they're a large creature, so
They take up 40 foot if I was looking blocks wise. But would you say that was correct, or would you say it's more like 30 foot to go around them?
I would say 40.
40. Okay, that's fair. Val is gonna do 20 foot to get over here. Cast haste on myself.
Yep, so you drop Shield of Faith
Yeah.
on Urt.
Yep,
You
that's
have
fine.
haste once already.
No, I decided not
No,
to. I
you're
did
right.
Misty Step.
Oh, right.
Use my my action for haste to get the portal dagger out.
Mm-hmm.
Sweep all the way around it, and then if my maths is correct, I have 40 foot of movement left, so I'm going to go 40 foot up, and then that is my turn.
So you've moved 20 feet
Yep.
of your 30. You've then cast haste. So you have 40 feet of movement left. It takes you 40 feet of movement to go all the way around the creature.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was in my head. How did I work it out?
It was an action to cast haste, and then your hasted actions using the portal dagger.
Yeah, never mind.
You only have a
in my
bonus
head, I was
action.
doing bonus action dash as well, but I don't get bonus action
Yeah.
dash.
Yeah, you're
so
not a rogue.
Yeah.
You're not
So
a
I'm going to
liar.
complete the circle on that turn, and that's going to be my turn.
Okay. All right. Ert's turn.
Ert is going to move closer to the group so that they've got a bit of Spirit Guardians on them. Maybe not that close. About that distance, and I think that's all she's going to do that turn. She's going to keep Spirit Guardians up.
Okay.
Although no, that's a concentration spell. Never mind. Yeah, that's what she's going to do.
Okay. Blossom, your turn.
Yep. Start. Oh, nice. Crimson right. And do cold.
Yep.
So that's all the way down to that. And then attack. Advantage. I'll take that.
Yep. Second one hits.
Oh, although these. Sorry, I've reverted back to my basic. It's only a +9 for the strikes.
Still would hit.
Yeah, it's still hit. That's fine. And these are auto crits because it's.
These are auto
paralyzed.
crits because you're
Thanks.
paralyzed and you're in melee. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Vienna.
You're welcome.
And
So that's eight.
I just-
That's 12 damage on the first one.
This is me finding other ways to be useful instead of missing.
and 14 cold damage
14 cold damage. Okay. So
plus another 14 slashing and 6 cold.
so another 20. Okay.
And I will brand of tethering it for the sake of it.
Okay.
Come on, hit me, I dare you. Although I doubt this thing's gonna take psychic damage, but still, do it.
Okay. End of your turn.
Yep.
Okay. Altgard's turn. Altgard is just going to. He's just going to curve around this pillar and then just sort of like peek out from the side. He's figured out that his crossbow bolts are not helping, so he's just not going to bother. He's just going to stay there, out the way. The creature's turn. It is paralyzed. At the end of its turn, it gets to remake the saving throw, and fails. It's still paralyzed.
It also has to do a
Vienna.
saving throw for being in Spirit Guardians.
14 fails.
Yep. So it takes 17 damage.
17 damage. Okay. It's starting to look rough. Starting to look damaged. Vienna's turn.
I guess I'll just stick to what I know. Good old Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Although I am kind of tempted to just take a couple of side steps and see if I can actually pick up Hager. How big's this sphere?
The same size as Hacker, so
Oh, at least maybe stop the spear from rolling.
yeah.
off. So,
Well, it has. It's stopped rolling at the moment, but Hacker is upside down in it.
yeah, I might roll him the right side up.
Easy enough to do.
And I'll Eldritch Blast.
Yep, with advantage as it's paralyzed.
Oh, nice.
Hits. Second one hits. 17, 22 points of damage there.
Nice.
It's looking very rough now. You can see it's trying to move.
not
It's
get hit like that.
straining against the spell, but it can't break it. Right, Zandal, your turn.
Okay. Bang. Hammer time.
With advantage and auto crit.
Yep.
Hits.
Okay. Let me just roll the. I'm
8,
casting Booming
16.
Blade this time as well, so.
Yeah, I'll just say this. How do you want to do this?
So as sort of like, Standal just comes like plodding along. He just sort of like slides like between underneath like the werecat that's suddenly like slashing away, and just uppercuts this bear with like absolute with the force of the hammer,
Yeah.
like sending thunder and obviously the bludgeoning. I've got to roll the d6 just in case it has some stupid effect. I don't think it does on light. But 3. I've got to keep it. I've got to do a con save.
Yeah.
Because it's keep hold of the weapon. So it also takes fire damage as well.
Yeah. Trust me. It had 15 hit points left. Your first hit was
Yeah.
enough.
So it took thunder, bludgeoning, and fire damage just to like uppercut it with a hammer.
Yeah. And as you do, you watch as its bottom jaw just gets absolutely wrenched off, and you see a single pinky from Hagar go flying from out of its mouth as it collapses
Hagar!
to the floor, dead.
Okay, I found a bit of you.
And as silence falls, you all sort of pant and take a few breaths.
I'm going to quickly look around and make sure that
Yeah,
we
let's
haven't
make sure we're not
caught
being spied on
attention.
or have attracted enemies.
Go ahead
Vandal's
and
still on
roll
my
a
portal
perception
kill.
checks.
Perception.
I'm gonna drop concentration on Hacker's orb.
Yep.
21.
25.
25. Looking around, you don't see anything in your immediate vicinity. However, Vienna, over to your east, there's a number of buildings, and you see flickers of movement around those.
Oh shit.
Okay, like they're past the fountain and across completely the other side of the cavern, but you see there is movement over there.
Right.
Doesn't appear to be coming closer, but it appears to your sound has riled something over there up.
I mean, thunder.
I will warn the rest of the group that I've just.
Should we possibly hide then?
How much healing does Hacker take from that? Because he rolled a 4 and a 7, but there's also
So
the plus 5,
basically,
right?
you can heal Hacker up to full because he's going to have enough time to do the repairs to full heal.
I'm
but-
also going to try and cast Mending to try and get rid of these -2s, but
I'm going to say to get rid of the minuses, it's going to take at least a short rest's worth of you sitting and casting Mending to remove one -1 from him.
oh
Can
god.
I check on our dwarf friend, please?
Yeah, you go over and you see him just sort of like bandaging a couple of burns on his arm now that the fight's over, and he goes, well, no fucking clue what those were.
No idea. Here, let me try to heal you a little.
Oh, that'd be
It's
much
not much,
appreciated.
but 5 more healing for you.
Thank you kindly. That's helpful.
Just trying to see if I have anything else I could do for you. I'm not really a healer, I'm afraid, but that will have to do for you.
It's better than nothing.
Val will go over and slap him on the back and just do lay on hands for 15.
Gently,
yeah.
Gantisian.
He's full health now, so
Oh, with Talia.
Oh, good then.
no, with that 15 lay on hands, he'll be
Okay,
full
cool. And I'm going to touch myself for 2.
But
Sweet. Okay. So
Anyone else need healing?
I'm fine, I'm fresh.
I'm good.
Much. Yeah.
where-
I could do with a bit.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
much
maybe,
are you down?
yeah.
I'm down just under 60.
We should probably make sure it doesn't drop below half and tries to eat us.
As in, how much to get you back up to full?
Yeah, 50. No, 57. Wait, that. Oh, right, yeah. 'cause
Wait, is
it's-
that right?
I'll give you
What do we
25.
need? Oh, what's this healing light thing I do? I have 2d6 healing point when you finish on this. Oh, I can give that to someone else. Okay. Oh wait, no, that's not the
I'm gonna say, as you guys are recuperating and quickly recovering from this fight and
I
getting
was
ready
actually
to
going to
move.
say where
Break
I've
time?
seen this
I'm-
movement, I'm keeping an eye on it and
Yeah,
backing away.
I'm gonna. Well, what I was about to say is, would you guys like to take a quick break? As it
Yes.
is
Yeah,
gone,
that's
it's
probably
gone the
wise,
time
yeah.
we would normally take a break, and it feels like a good point to take a break.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
we are
Bathroom
going to take
break. Tea,
a quick
coffee.
bathroom break.
Whatever you need.
Get your drinks, get your snacks, get whatever you need. We will be back shortly to wrap up what's happening here.
In a minute.
Hello, and welcome back. So, you guys are currently stood around the corpses of these two iron-like bears, as Vienna has spotted subtle movement off in the far distance to the east, past the fountain and amongst these buildings down the end.
Just out of interest, where on this map would the fire pit be?
So the fire would
Yeah.
be to your north, the big crucible. The crucible's to your north. The black building with the portals to the elemental plane of fire is to your south, and the big statue that you were just at is to your left, to the west.
Wondering how easy it would be to drag these corpses into the fire pit to remove the evidence,
That is a point.
and then
Do
go
we
into
really-
hiding.
Just showing
I
off
know
how
that-
many bloody notes he has.
I
That's
know they're
ridiculous. Just like, just seeing how many there
I
are.
know they're dead,
Lore.
but do we really want to chuck things that use metal to regenerate into a vat of molten metal?
I mean, then they have to be alive in order to regenerate.
We don't
Real
know anything
question
about
is-
these creatures.
Maybe we should just
I'm not taking that risk.
just hide them.
Okay,
Like
we
behind
can
a
just
pillar
try
or
and hide
something.
them
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Okay. So, are you trying to move these creatures?
If we can't move them, we can't move them. Then we'll just
I'll-
go into hiding.
What? Who's? Is it a single person trying to move them? Is it multiple?
I don't like the look on his face right now. He's
I-
making
I-
me very, very paranoid about touching things. Like,
I'm just trying to get a sense of
he's like,
what.
how
we're trying-
many of you touched them?
Can I attempt to just like cut a bit of its iron hide off? Like, because it's got regenerative properties. I kind of want to.
Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Okay. I'm going to use it.
Can I give him guidance?
So with a Dormammu, that's
Plus
a
4?
13. Do I get down guidance
13?
or?
I would say no, because
Aw, what's the point in guidance?
the point in guidance is for when you're actually doing something together. But in this case, Xandal had gone off to do something on his
Yeah,
own.
for the whole guidance thing is that I'm like, here, I'm giving you help.
Yes, but you
with
weren't
magic.
with Xandal. You did not know what Xandal was doing or where he was going.
Ah.
So that's a 14, yeah?
13.
13.
With plus 5, yeah.
You managed to cut a not very good bit. It's not very large, and as you take it off and look at your blade, you can see though these things are dead, their metal absorption properties haven't fully faded, as the blade you used has had some damage done to it from cutting through this.
Yeah, it's fine.
Beast
I'd have
hide.
thought that I'd have used one of the 23 swords I have in my bag of holding.
Fuck, you have 24 swords.
Well, I know we're not short of swords. That's a bonus. We've got a walking armatory there.
Well,
yes, you managed to cut a
since
small.
everything costs me so much, I need to salvage stuff to smelt.
Whilst he was doing that, could I have a look to see if there was another route higher than us, or whether the only route now is to go back down?
So you would know, you've already checked around. The only tunnels on this level go down. The only other access points is the two portal elevators that look like they just bring up mine carts from the mines.
So I think we're going to have to go back and then go to the other tunnel that we could see. back in the factories.
Yeah.
Well, no, this
Mm.
is the
I'd
other
Well, no,
tunnel,
you-
isn't it?
that was a...
You'd already figured out that one also came up here. You
Oh.
came out of the north tunnel and you asked previously whether you could see another tunnel, and I said there is one exactly level with you in the south wall past the fountain.
Okay.
And you
That's what
figured
that-
out that both of those ones from the lower level came up here.
So we go down the south tunnel, and then we've got to head back through the route we just came, down to the next level, and then down again. I think is probably our next course of action, right? We've explored up. We need to go down.
Oh, Godwin, I thought you were looking for those faceless people. We haven't found them yet, and we've only checked half the cavern.
Okay.
What?
I thought we checked the
the-
cavern.
this
Might
this
be what that
cavern
movement
or
is. Yeah, that might be what that movement is that I could see in the distance.
no? You think it could be the faceless?
Could be. There's nowhere else to go.
Should be careful then.
Just very quickly, sorry, what was you saying about this sliver of metal?
So you've managed
Pipe.
to cut like a sort of like handkerchief-sized piece.
Okay.
Don't blow your nose on it.
Good job I don't have piercings. Yeah, no. Xandel's just gonna keep it hidden away from metal for the moment, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
just gonna wrap it up and just keep it to one side.
Okay.
Because if he can sort of like replicate that style, it would help these friggin' robots so much, because then they'll be regenerating themselves with metal.
Yeah.
Guess we're heading towards the other buildings then.
Yeah,
Seems like it.
stealthily.
Yes,
I think
stealthily.
jump from pillar to pillar until we like
Well, dash
get it.
slowly. You know, sneaky like yeah.
I think just look after every like segment until we get a clearer view of the movement is.
Okay. As you begin heading across, moving through this area, you move along this promenade towards where the fountain is, and you see that movement has now vanished. You don't see any movement over in those eastern buildings anymore.
It is still in the middle of us.
I've got a feeling they may have been scouts and they're probably the faceless know we're here.
Perhaps. Can I do the thing with the eyes? That's, for some reason,
True
the
sight?
name escapes me. True sight. That's the one.
Yep.
Can I have a scan around, see if there's anything hidden or?
As
nasty?
you activate True Sight and look around, you see this whole area around you is on fire. Black and green fire licking at all of you and your friends in the ethereal plane. You see ghostly dwarves wailing in anguish. Make a perception check for me.
21.
21.
762.
Looking around, something catches your eye just before it blinks out. What would have been invisible to everyone else orb
Scrying
with an eye shape in it before it blinks out of existence.
I believe we are being scryed on. Or were. I'll take True Sight down.
Well, someone knows we're here.
I don't know. Umberbread knows we're here already, right?
No.
He already, he issued a challenge mentally. He sent us a message, remember?
Yeah, but we weren't
He
here
sent that
at the time.
to whoever was scrying on him.
Oh, when we were scrying on him, so he doesn't. but
Yeah,
he
that
probably
was a
kno-
while ago.
He probably knows we're here, though. I mean, it's his lair. You know, lairs and dragons. He must know. He probably, I don't know, seeing which one of us wins. Us or the faceless.
Dumb question. If we were being scryed upon, wouldn't one of us have had to have made a save?
Not necessarily if they're scrying on a location.
Okay.
They
Which
saw,
makes me
they
think
could
it's
see,
more.
they
likely to be
saw
the
they
dragon.
saw flame strikes coming down over here. If they're familiar with a location, they can scry on the location, not a
Okay.
person. So you get the feeling this was more a case of what the hell's happened over there. Let's have a look.
They
It's
saw
hard
me
to
uppercut a
tell
bear.
who
I
knows
don't
this.
care. That was cool.
Yeah.
I have
We
a
should make a move,
crazy
yes?
chaos gremlin thought. Sandal,
Mhm.
you're heat resistant for the next 2 hours because of my radius thing. How much chaos would it
plus-
cause?
yeah.
How much chaos would it cause if we just turned off the crucible?
Now, how
We-
exactly
um,
do you expect the dragon to not want to fucking kill us if you do something like this to his horde, huh?
That's a last
Well,
resort.
not only that, we'd also have all the robots coming after us.
Yeah,
So proper chaos.
yeah.
We should
It
not
would-
do that. I don't think
Yeah.
that's wise.
I'm just putting it out that is like a last resort kind of option that
Don't really
Mhm.
see how it would benefit us.
if we
Only
need
if
to
it
escape in
was
the
linked
chaos.
to the
Unless we wanted to
dragon,
get
we'd
out.
need to know that. Yeah.
Because there's also the stained glass window.
Hmm.
Is all I'm saying. If we need to create chaos and then go out through the stained glass window, that's
Last resort, I think, on that one.
Mhm.
Right. I guess we just carry on looking around this cavern then.
Oh yes, let's have a look.
See if we can find any faceless.
Stealthily.
Bear with me, guys. I'm in a lot of pain.
There is.
Sciatica is not fun.
I know.
All right. So, as you guys group back up and prepare to head across towards where this fountain is on this promenade, I need you to move your tokens where you're going, please.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
I need you to put your tokens in the correct marching order or how you're moving and move them for me, please.
I'll be
Okay.
behind Earth, Val in front of Earth, yes?
Which way's the front? Which way's the back?
So you guys are
Val is
heading
in front.
east. So right across this map.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're literally just hopping from pillar to pillar. So
Yeah, as stealthily as possible.
Mhm.
I really don't like this whole moving tokens. That to me says there's more of that fucking shit hidden under token, under map stuff that he did before with the bridge.
Can we move? Oh God, to
Can we
the
c-
side. So that
Sorry.
yeah. So there we go.
As you guys reach that point, yeah, they would
we are
spring it
looking,
down.
by the way.
Yeah, we're
I was
looking
gonna
and like
say,
and shit, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
said
No,
stealthily
yeah.
and stuff.
I've taken your
Ah.
passive perceptions into account when I rolled
No,
stealth
we're
rolls.
actively looking, not
Actively looking.
passively.
Yeah.
We said we were looking.
Go ahead.
looking.
Well, go ahead and roll perception checks now then for me.
Oh, 21.
Oh,
Which is the same as my passive, so it's actually quite funny.
Hacker and Emily.
Yeah. No, you still have no clue.
Oh shit.
As you get to that point, that is when they are going to make themselves known by launching a surprise round at you.
What the
As
fuck are
Can
those
Hacker
things?
and Emily
God.
act on normal because they wouldn't be.
They are
surprised
normal,
'cause
they
we
can't be
act.
surprised. But yeah, the
Yeah.
faceless saw you, they saw you here, they know who you are.
Yeah.
Whilst you were mulling around, they sent a group out to come and fight you, and they didn't just send a scouting party, they've gone, oh crap, they're on our level, send a decent sized force. You hung around too long.
Like black smears.
we hung around that long, but
Yeah.
You hung around a decent amount of time for them to get from where they were to where they needed to be, and they rolled good
fuck
stealth.
me. Okay, yeah. There's oh god, we're fucking dead, dudes. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a lot of enemies.
Prepare your
What?
next
They got
characters, guys.
no. That's not just faceless here. They got fucking fiends or some shit with them. Like that's not good.
You do remember when you faced Shade in the throne
I know,
room,
he
he
got
had
those-
shadow
yeah.
demons with him.
That's a long time ago. Holy shit.
So, the assassins are +3 to their dex attack. The shadow demon is a 3 to deck.
How many d6s would I need to roll just to see whether Hacker gets his breath weapon
I would
back?
probably like 20.
Okay.
You were there a decent amount of time, so and then the
Oh.
Praetorians. So they have -1 to deck.
Because you
Why is
cut
it
off a
not?
piece of that thing. Otherwise, we would have been done with under 2 minutes, and we would have been on the move.
Yeah.
But yes, so
We did a bit of
top
healing, then
the-
carried on moving.
Top of the round is the
There we
faceless
go.
assassins.
Yeah, he's definitely got it.
So
Would have had to have faced them anyway, so like, I'm not.
At
Yeah.
some point,
Not
yeah.
angry.
I
Yeah.
just, I just don't want the campaign to end here.
Can you
Like,
put
I mean,
the
there's
30
nothing
foot
to
radius?
say. Nothing to say. You guys have to fight here.
Yeah, but they know we're here. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we need to think how
go, there's your
far we
30 foot
can
radius.
go before we need to run.
So the assassins are going.
If all of us are below half health, we run. Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
They get like crossbow +6.
I think we're probably outmatched here. They know we're coming. They've sent enough that can handle us and more.
I'm not really concerned about the faces. I'm concerned with the things with them. And I'm not even concerned with the little ones. It's those 3 big fuckers that I'm concerned about.
15 to get
I don't know, man. Fuck.
Vote,
I don't want to
vote.
lose. If we leave here, like, if we bounce out, that's it. They get another stone, man.
Yeah.
They only need 1 more after this.
So there's
is it
going
2
to
more?
be.
They have 3 already.
They just
One
need
more.
one more.
They
for
need
this
1 more
get-
to destroy the divine
So
gate. This is
first off,
not
light
good.
crossbow attack against Vienna. It's going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Just before that happens, my armor.
Your armor is still on, but it only affects melee attacks against you, not ranged.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to
You've
check
still
whether
got
it was
your
still
you've
up
still
or
got
not.
your temporary hit points.
Paddy,
Right.
do you remember the last time I used my journal? It's not been a week, has
You
it?
used it. No, it's not been a week. You used it whilst you were traveling here. You used it
Okay.
literally the day before.
Right, okay.
So Vienna is going to take 11 points of piercing damage, and then I need to roll the poison damage.
Halved.
But you are resistant to poison because of Val's things.
Good fucking choice.
So it would be 19 points of poison, but it's halved to 8.
Okay.
So that's 1 light crossbow attack from one of the assassins. Oh no, that should have been a crit.
Open up the sheet again.
So still take 18 points of poison damage because it was meant to be 36. I can't remember the piercing, so we'll just leave the piercing as it was.
So was it 18 or 8? Sorry.
18.
Ah, okay.
Because it would have been 36 points, but you still get the resistance from Val's thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah,
No,
so
I just
the-
misheard you the first time. I thought 8.
Yep.
So
So the next assassin is going to fire at Blossom. Miss with a, I think that was like an 8. Yeah, just an 8. So that one fires and misses. Next one is going to fire at Vienna, but Vienna
I
has
should be in
partial
front of
cover.
Valdisian in turn order because I have a higher dex.
That's fine. I'll sort that in a moment. This is currently still surprise round anyway, so.
I know, just so that you know.
So that one's going to miss Vienna. Next one's going to fire at Zandal. Zandal has quarter cover, misses. And then the last one is going to fire at Zandal, no quarter cover. Still going to miss with a 12, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the assassins. Next up is the Shadow Demons. Shadow Demons have a 30-foot speed, so they're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get to there, and then 5, 10, 30 to dash to there. 10, 15, 20, 30 to get to there. move these all up. There, and then that one should be able to get to about there. That's the Shadow Demons moved. Technically, it would be Blossom there because higher dex.
The big fucker's dex, out of curiosity.
Lower than
Hacker.
yours and
Lower.
Val's, but it's still.
Yeah.
Hacker.
Would
So Hacker
Hack-
and Emily get to act now.
Yeah. So what's the? I forget what the range is on my breath weapon.
40 feet, I think.
Okay. So there to catch them too.
Yep, and it's
A
con save, yeah.
raw is deck save.
Dex save. Okay, that's better for them.
Yeah.
That's a 13 and lower. So I'm guessing it's a 14 save. Yep.
14 is yeah.
So they both fail, but they both take less damage than you expect.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So they're both going to take 10 damage.
Really bad feeling about this. I don't think we should stay.
Okay, Emily doing anything?
Potentially use Vienna's gate.
I was just about to say I can have the arcane gate ready if you want.
I think that might be wise. I don't
we
think this is
see-
a fight we can win.
2 rounds and then we're bugging out, I think.
Agreed.
Emily can't really do anything because she's no longer suited to combat.
Yeah.
And if I do the only thing that I can do that can potentially help, it's going to scupper everyone if it fails.
Right.
Let's not risk scuppering everyone.
Exactly. So Emily's just on defense duty.
Right, so the Praetorians' turn then. They're going to go 5, 10, 15, 25, 30 to get to there. 15, 20, 25, 30 to get to there. 30 to get to there. And then they are each going to make a ranged spell attack with shadow bolts. One is going to fire on Vienna. So that's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
So Vienna, you are going to take... That is 10 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
As this shadowy bolt flies across and slams into you. Next one is going to make one against Xandal. That's only going to be a 10 to hit.
That's a miss.
And the last one is going to make one against Xandal again. That one's going to be a 20 to hit. Not natural.
Okay. What sort of attack is it?
It's a ranged, like, not spell, but like an ability.
I was going to say, is it a physical item?
What damage
No.
does it do?
It's a shadowy
okay.
bolt.
What does the shadow bolt do, like damage-wise?
Necrotic.
Okay, got that.
Yeah, my AC is 18, so...
So 13 points of necrotic damage to Xandal.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's the end of the surprise round. Assassin's turns again. Go to bonus action, shadow step to there. This one's going to move to there. This one's going to move up to here for a better line of sight. It's going to move to there. This one's going to shadow step to here. And then it's going to be crossbow bolts again. One against Vienna. That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yep, and you know what? I'm getting annoyed, so I'm going to Hellish Rebuke that.
Okay. But first you are going to take 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then 17 points of poison reduced to 7. And then your Hellish Rebuke, which they have a Dex save against.
There you go.
What's the saving throw? 15. They pass and they have evasion, so they take nothing.
Oh,
Unfortunately. Right,
annoying.
next crossbow bolt is going to be against Blossom. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
Emily's going to do projected shield on Blossom, so +2 to
Okay.
her AC.
So does
That
18
only
still?
brings me up to 18.
So 18 still hits.
Ah, damn.
Okay. So Blossom, you are going to take. Just check. You are going to take 10 points of piercing damage, and then 17 points of poison damage reduced to 8 because of Val's thing. Next one is going to fire off a bolt at Urt. That's only going to be a 13 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, so misses. Next one is going to fire at Xandol. Natural 20.
Okay, I'm going to use something that I've been holding on to for so long. My gloves of missile snaring.
Okay. So the damage is going to be 14, 17 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so I reduced that by 8.
So, yep. So, but the bolt still hits. You don't catch the bolt.
Yeah.
And you are still going to take the poison damage.
But he's resistant to poison because of Al's thing, right?
Yep.
I'm resistant poison anyway, so...
Would be 46, so reduced to 23.
So total damage is...
It was 17 for the bolt. And
taking off 8,
23, so would have been 40 points in total.
I take that down by 8, don't I? So...
Yeah.
So 32.
And the last one is going to fire a bolt at Xandal as well. That's only a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay. Right. Ert's turn.
4th level blindness, deafness on all fuzzy creatures. The 3 fuzzy creatures.
Okay.
That's a con save of 17.
Let me just...
120 foot range.
Casting time. It's choose one creature.
At level 2, and then for every level I cast it above that, I can choose another creature. I'm casting it at level 4 to target 3.
So you're casting it at 3 of them, okay?
Yeah.
That's fine. So 3 of them have to make con saves, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 17.
Nat 20 on 1, so resists. 1 fails, and the other fails. So 1 resists, 2 fail.
Yeah, so blinded
So
I'm
2
going
of
to
them
go
are now
for.
blind.
Yeah.
Which ones were you aiming at, by the way? These 3 down here.
No, the 3 big creatures.
Oh, the 3 big creatures. Oh, that's different. I was looking at the wrong one. Damn it, hang on. I'll re-roll those saves. So that's a 19 to 1 passes. 17.
Passes.
Another passes. 1 fails.
Okay.
So I'll say the bottom one's failed and is now blinded.
Yeah.
Just find a... Yep, there we go. Okay. Anything
That's-
else for Ert's
That's going to
turn?
be her turn.
Okay, Shadow Demon's turn. Okay, they're all going to move in, and they're going to start
We need
making
to leave, man.
claw attacks.
As if we can.
I think we make attempts to leave right now.
Plus 5. So there's going to be 2 claw attacks on Vienna. Just double check. Yeah, they only get the 1. So that's going to be a 14 to hit.
That misses.
Okay, the other claw attack. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay, so Vienna, you are going to take... Just check. Just 3. Okay. So I'm going to take 11, 14 points of psychic damage as this shadowy claw rakes through you.
Ouch.
Okay, then 2 claw attacks on Xandal.
Okay.
That's a 15 to hit
Miss.
and a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
So you are going to take
You say you got that thing, Vienna?
15,
I
18 points of
set it
psychic
up.
damage.
I think
How
that
much,
would
sorry?
be wise.
18 points.
We've still got the psychic damage resistance, haven't we?
No. Did you choose psychic?
He
He
chose
did.
psychic,
Poison and fire.
fire.
Okay, so yeah, so reduce those by half then. So 9 points of psychic, and whatever Vienna just took would have been half as well. I can't remember what it was.
17?
17, so reduce that to 8. So heal yourself for 9.
Okay.
Okay, then we're going to have one make a claw attack against Altgard.
Hacker's
Sorry, it
going to
was
use
14.
his
I've just
uh,
seen.
deflect attack. Defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see that is within 5 feet of it, provided that the attack roll is against a creature other than the defender.
Okay, the attack still hits, unfortunately.
Oh,
Altgard is going to take 7, 8. Okay, but that's halved, so he takes a little bit of damage. And then the last one is going to make a claw attack against Hacker.
Yeah.
For 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Hacker is going to take 21 points of psychic damage, halved to 10.
Okay, bear with me. Oh no, yeah. So, how much? 10.
10.
No worries.
Okay, that's their turn. Blossom, your turn.
I think I'm just gonna let Vienna go first. Say I think
Okay.
we need to leave.
Yep. Vienna, your turn.
I think you know what I'm about to do.
Please tell me if someone else has got counter spell ready, just in case. I'm just saying.
Arcane Gate.
Okay. So,
I do not.
no, Arcane Gate. Casting time 1 action. Yep. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Okay. So, where are you creating your gate?
Back here somewhere.
Where's back here?
So you can make it so
somewhere
they
back here.
can't see it, maybe? Have it
I
facing
d-
away
I
from
can only
them?
do it 10 feet in front of me.
So there,
basically.
roughly.
Okay.
Yeah. What does it actually say? 1 point within 10 feet of you, so I can only do it 10 feet.
So roughly
Around
there
me.
then.
Yeah.
Where's the gate going?
As far
Can't you-
away from here as possible.
So it's
So we
500.
get
You
to the
can do
tunnel,
it
go back
500
down, maybe?
feet. I would
I can
say
only-
where you are currently, you could have it just before the tunnel.
Yeah, that's
Sounds-
where I'll
That
put
sounds
it.
good.
Okay.
Just give us a head start to get the F out of there. So
All right. Yeah, no, I'm not going to give them that. Right. Anything else? I mean, you've got your movement, Vienna.
if I try to move, I'm probably going to take a hit of opportunity, aren't I?
You
From
probably
By
will,
at least 2 of them, yes.
Yeah. I will take that risk.
Okay.
I don't think we've got much of a choice.
No, so I'm going to start running, basically.
Okay. One is going to attack you then.
Yep.
That's only going to be a 13 to hit.
That misses.
The other one is going to attack as well. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
So you are going to take 12 points of psychic damage reduced to 6, and you need to make me a concentration check because
Oh,
your
God.
spell is concentration.
Shit.
Oh, I can't give you advantage yet. Sorry.
Concentration.
So it's just a con check.
Was it
Ouch.
above a 10 for concentration, is it?
Yeah, it's above a 10
Yeah.
or half the damage DC.
And you get a +4 because of Val's aura?
That's only a save.
It's not a save.
Okay.
It's a con
It's
check.
not saving throw. It's just a straight.
Just making sure that we're adding all that we can add.
Mm.
All right.
Although I believe is Vienna a warcaster?
I am.
I don't know whether you took warcaster. So you have advantage on this.
Okay. So just so I'm checking, it's not a saving.
don't
taking this in.
believe a cons. Let me check.
Uh,
Concentration.
I'm
Concentration
looking
on the
for
spell is a con
concentration.
save.
Make
Yeah,
me feel sick.
it is a
Right.
con save. 'cause
Constitution
you-
saving throw. Yeah, so it is a saving throw.
I've got
so you would get the
38
plus
now.
3.
from Val as well. You
Right.
get the +3 from Val, and it's an advantage because you're a warcaster.
Okay. And
You're fine. You maintain concentration.
okay.
So you
I
quickly
don't know why I did
dip.
that twice. but
You
oh
quickly
well.
run through the gate and reappear 500 feet away. So I'm just going to move your
Yeah.
token to the edge of the map to show that you've gone. Okay.
There is a chance we get followed through it.
Yeah,
but-
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as we know that we're all through, we close the gate, and if there's a
Yeah,
few of us
I'll just
follow,
drop
at
it.
least we've halved the amount of attackers that are at us, and we can still
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandal, your turn.
Blossom would have gone first, wouldn't she? Because
Yeah, we swap
she was
places.
before.
Okay, so Blossom.
Yeah, basically holding my action to run through.
Yep,
Once the gate
you
was
run
open.
through as well. So you've run through as well. You're through the gates. Right, Sandal, your turn.
Mm,
I don't
Yeah,
like where
I'm
Urt is
gonna
in turn order right
bonus
now.
action,
No, I don't.
cast Expeditious Retreat. Using my tome,
It's alright, I can
Yep.
help her.
which no, that's bonus action dash, isn't it? Not disengage. Twonk. So that doesn't make any difference. I'm going to.
What's the spell? Is it an action to
Expeditious
cast?
Retreat.
It's a
Yeah.
bonus action, Expeditious Retreat. But it's just a dash action. It's not
Yes,
disengage.
Yeah, but you can take your action to disengage.
Yeah, when you cast this
And then
spell,
you-
and then as a bonus action on each of your turns until the spell ends, you can take the dash action. So you've got double movement,
Yeah.
and you've still got your action. So you can use your action to disengage.
Do it.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
you're
either
planning
way,
something
like,
else.
yeah, I'm planning on something else. So, where I was, action, disengage. Through the portal,
Yep, you run through the portal.
hacker. Action, disengage. Can he just grab by the arm and just drag her through the portal with him?
If she's willing.
Half
But
movement.
you would half
would-
movement.
It would have cost an action to pick her up.
Crap.
Fine, I'm going to do that
Uh,
next turn.
So,
I'm
okay,
gonna
yeah,
give some thread stuff.
yeah.
in a minute.
So he's gonna action disengage. Then he's gonna assume that someone's gonna grab the squishy one.
Yep. So through the portal, yep. I'm assuming Emily's doing the same.
Emily's gonna do something quite comical as she steps
where is
through
your
the portal.
friend in the turn order? Because
Oh, I did not roll an initiative for Ulgar.
Could you?
Yeah,
Oh god, he rolled
He's
a nat
got a-
one.
I was.
Can we just say that he went first? Like, come on.
I will be nice and say he
Say-
went first and he's run through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save
Yeah.
our friend.
as Emily, because she's a little sassy sometimes, as she steps through the portal, she's gonna spark this one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack. That hits.
oh. And also, Hacker has his acid back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, as she kind of like dives through the portal, she's like, "Zap!"
Yep. So it does the 7 lightning damage. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Talia, your turn.
I will grant advantage to Urt, advantage to Valdician, disadvantage to that guy, and then through the portal.
Disadvantage to that guy.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Move you to there. Move you to there. Okay. Right. Valdician.
Dragging out
your
through the
turn.
portal.
You are open to an opportunity attack, and it is going to make a grapple. So it is going to be
I
a
didn't think I
contest.
should have given disadvantage to that one. Sorry, I was trying to protect you from getting into
So-
the portal. I didn't notice.
so-
My bad.
God. Athletics versus your athletics or acrobatics. If this,
You have
if the-
advantage at least, though.
True that.
Yeah,
What
you're
did you
fine
roll?
considering it rolled a -3.
I see how negative.
It just literally reaches out and caresses you as you
Oh, my nipples.
drag
No, wait,
through
no,
the
don't go.
Tries
through
to
the
push the
portal.
orc off the edge of the cliff. Gently strokes its back. Everyone is
It
awkward.
feels uncomfortable.
On the other side of the portal, I'm going to stand, like, basically trying to block the route, because I know that we have to drop the portal.
Yeah. Right. It's their turns now, so
We drop the portal right now. Like, this
No, it's
Until
gotta wait for my
Vienna's turn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
30 to get to there. 20, 25, 30 to get to there.
Going to try and be a boulder on the other side.
50 to get to there. This one can go
Can we hold actions to stab?
25. So one of the Praetorians has gotten and is going to come through the portal.
We're just like,
Managed to
no,
get there with a
no,
dash.
stab, punch, don't do this.
Is that the one that was blinded?
No, the one that's
No,
blinded
that's
is
not one
down
of the
here.
blinded ones.
Okay,
You can
sorry,
the
I can't see.
icons on the ones that are.
Yeah.
25. That one can get through as well with a dash
They're all
action.
just gonna follow us
No,
in.
just go down the tunnel. We can still move away.
Yeah.
Just run.
Don't forget though, we're creating a bottleneck here.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone got
This
fireball?
one,
No, sadly, not this character.
30 to get to there, so can't quite make it. That's
Punch
the
those
end
little
of
shits can get
their
through as well.
turns. The assassins are going to. They cannot bonus action dash, can they? No. Oh, I forgot about their sneak attacks. Damn it! Some of you maybe should have gone down.
Too late now.
30 to get to there. 15, 20, 30 to get to there.
Wait, could one of us hit Vienna to make her drop concentration?
Yeah, a bit late now.
Good.
Just
Yeah.
a thought. Just so we can
Oh,
maybe
just
drop it
looking at
early
what's
and just.
Charles.
But you'll make the concentration check. Well, you don't. You could just voluntarily fail the concentration check, right?
I'll
Would that
leave
work?
that at the discretion to the DM.
It's a thought.
To there. These guys, they can't. The portal's one way. You can't see it from that side, so they've got to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to get to there. They can get to there, so they can't get through the portal this turn. Ert's turn.
So, does the
DM.
portal...
I will say, from what I remember, Ert has a spell
Yeah, I was going to say
that might be
Oh,
useful
yeah.
here. I'm
The
going to be
dispel
very
magic.
kind here.
You mean dispel magic?
If
Yeah,
she
do it.
matches the level of the spell,
What level's the spell?
6th.
Can cast level 6 spells? I think she can, can't she?
she'll be able to. But
Does she have any
Yeah.
spell sets?
Can you upcast to level 6? Because it's not...
yeah, you can dispel magic. You can upcast dispel magic at any level. It just doesn't have
Then
any
I would
bonus
advise
except
to do
for
that.
automatically dispelling a spell. Otherwise, you have to roll for it.
Yeah, I
It's
guess...
the same as counter spell.
I guess we use dispel magic then.
Yeah, at what
Close the
level?
portal early.
6th.
Yep. So the portal vanishes, winks out of existence.
Okay, now we
Thank
need
you.
to be running down the tunnel and trying to get away. If anything, hopefully we can, because they're enemies to the Dwagar and everything else is down here. If we can get them to aggravate them, we can use that as a distraction to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So
Let
we're
them
fight
we're
amongst
running at this point, I guess.
And she's going to go 30
You're all
foot.
just turning and running.
Yes.
So the Praetorians are going to get opportunity attacks on Val because you said you were directly in front of the thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they are going to get their great sword attacks against you. That's going to be a 28 to hit on one, and a nat 20 on the other.
Well, 23, but yeah.
So for the nat, we're going to do that one first. Sorry, I'm just finding the right dice. 3, 4. So 24 4, 48, 52 points of necrotic damage. Halved for you, so that would
I was
be
gonna say,
26.
yeah.
And then the other one, which isn't a crit. 11. 16 points of necrotic damage, halved to 8.
Cool.
As they make their great sword attacks against you. And you all begin running down that tunnel. They are going to square up at the tunnel, and as you are running down it, they are going to take shadow bolt pot shots at you down. Actually, no, you wouldn't be that far ahead if they chase you.
That's the thing. They move at 30 foot, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which ones of you would be lagging to see which one of you are going to get caught by this.
I mean, I was the one right in front of them, so...
I
it'd be
was
Sandal-
third to last, so I would be
Sandal,
nearer the back.
Hacker, Emily, Vienna.
Me.
No, you can. I'm assuming
I'm
your
right at the
bonus
back.
action dashing. You're a rogue.
Yeah, I
I'm
suppose,
assuming
yeah,
you're
yeah.
using all
I've
your
just
movement.
meant in terms
and-
of I might try and shield Urt because I'm
Yeah.
immune to necrotic damage.
And then Bolt Guard. So I need Vienna, Hacker, Emily, Sandal, Urt, and Alt Guard, and anyone else who's willing to stay back to make dex saves, as they are both going to make Shadow Slash abilities.
With a +3.
DC is 17.
So Ert saves.
I'll
saves.
Can try to block for someone. And my natural speed is 45, so I can easily catch up.
So
I definitely don't.
I failed too.
Alt Guard is going to fail. 3, 4, 5.
Interesting.
Sorry,
As they both.
Valdician and Urt have advantage for
They
those
both passed.
saves. Okay.
So anyone who passed is going to take half damage. Anyone who failed takes full.
Well, I
Yep.
passed and I'm immune, so I take nothing.
22 points of necrotic damage for one. And then.
Oh, is it 2 saves that we do, or just
Yeah.
one?
Oh, yeah. I need a second save. So for the first
Oh,
one,
Oh right,
yeah.
okay.
22 points or half if you passed.
Yeah.
And for the second one, again, the DC is 17.
So Hacker just passes it.
25.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
And then
So it
me.
looks like everyone
go.
passes on that one.
Hold on, bear with me. Yes.
Nice.
5, 11, 12. That was only 16 points of necrotic damage.
Is
Is
that
that
after
already
being
halved?
halved?
No, that's the full. So halved would be 8.
Okay.
Okay.
But they do not chase you down the tunnel. They are just standing there watching you go.
Okay, so we're gonna have
Actually-
to try and be quiet coming out of the tunnel.
I'm going to use a 3rd level spell. I think it is. Or Vitality. To begin healing people as we book it. So, who's technically the worst hurt?
Probably Alt Guard at this point, because he took a few hits there.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not looking too great either, so...
No,
So
me
Alt
neither.
Guard, that's 10. Well, I'll do one for each of you, everyone.
Well,
other than the
I've got
robots.
natural recovery, so I can get back
Okay.
up to 60.
Yeah, so if everyone bar from Blossom and the robots. So the next one, Vienna,
5. Okay.
Val,
Yeah, 59 I get to.
Ert, Talia, have you taken any damage?
Nope.
Nope, so we're ignoring you. Me. So 6. Alt Guard again. How many was that I've just cast or done?
Hang on. So you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Okay. So yeah. So Alt Guard. Front of the fort. Vienna. For 11.
Okay.
Val. For 5.
Don't do any for. I've just done healing. Lay on hands to bring her up.
Okay. Then me. For 8. And then I've got one more left, so our tour guide gets it
Okay.
for another 6.
Ultgard is, as you guys stop in the tunnel about out of sight of the demons at the top, he sort of stood there going, really? Not worth 2,000 gold.
Yeah, we should totally
Sorry.
get paid more.
Even I'm not thinking. Even I'm thinking this isn't worth the gold
I mean, you're not dead yet.
yet.
So
Ugh.
I'm going to say now, this feels like a good natural stopping point, but I'm happy to
Yeah.
go on later if
I
people
agree.
want to go later.
I think it's a good stopping point, especially since some of
yeah,
us are a
I'm-
little hurty.
Yeah,
I'm back at work tomorrow, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
unfortunately, a
there
bit
you
of a shorter session today because people aren't feeling great or people have got work, etc. So we're going to call it there for tonight, guys. At the end of that climactic
decent
It's
session.
about our
battle.
normal length, to be fair.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
fair
it's
enough.
about normal.
3 hours. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Nearly 4.
But we'll see what happens next time for the gang. They hopefully next time they remember,
No.
don't use flame strike.
I did say at
Stop
the beginning
making
of that
noise,
fight,
guys! God.
and flashy lights.
But we will see what happens next time. Hopefully it will be in 2 weeks, but obviously keep an eye on socials for the scheduling. We will update as and when the next session will be. As far as I'm aware, I'm okay for 2 weeks, but I will have to double check.
I
In
should
3
be fine for
weeks,
2 weeks too.
I think I am.
But we will see.
Let's
Otherwise,
just touch wood. Yeah.
Otherwise, do keep an eye on our sister channel, which is obviously Dyson Mimics Side Quests, where we'll probably have more shorts and videos coming up of us playing, games like Repo. Eventually, we'll play some other games, but Repo has kind of just got a grip on us at the moment because it is just that much fun.
It
Yep.
has been a bit
Um,
quiet because I haven't had a chance to do any editing, but there should be some more videos coming soon.
Yeah.
But we will keep playing various games and we will keep doing D&D, and we hope you enjoy your own gaming and your own D&D, however you choose to play, and
Your own chaos.
your own chaos. This group is my chaos
The
gremlin.
Chaos Reign.
I'm sure other people have other chaos gremlins. But until next time, be safe, enjoy your own games. Bye for now.
Right weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.